I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. It's hump day, y'all. Hump day, go out there and hump. That's what you're supposed to do on hump day, as far as I'm aware. It's like Christmas. You're supposed to Christmas on Christmas Day, and on hump day, you're supposed to hump. That's just science. Got a kind of a weird one today. We have lots of U.S. political stuff to talk about. And a lot of stupid stuff as well. Let's start with the stupid, shall we? Saw this just before we came on the air. Couple hiding baby's gender to protect child from unconscious bias. You can't make this shit up, guys. A UK couple says they're not revealing their child's gender to friends and family to protect the child from unconscious bias. Hobbit Humphrey. Dude's name's Hobbit, or the chick's name. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's the girl because the other dude is Jake England Johns. Said they are raising their 17-month-old Anoush. Why do you hate your baby? Why did you name it Anoush? As a gender neutral by dressing their offspring in both girls' and boys' clothing. So much of gender bias is unconscious, says Humphrey told the outlet. When I got pregnant, we then were having a discussion about how we were going to mitigate the unconscious bias. And we figured that the only way we could do that is to not tell people. The couple vowed to not disclose the child's gender to even the closest family members. One of the child's grandparents only learned the baby's gender at 11 months old when changing the diaper. We are quite good now at holding space for people's discomfort in us saying, actually, we don't tell anyone. We're not telling anyone for now. We're just letting Anoush be a baby, England's John told the outlet. Oh, wow. Seriously, that's where we live in. We're going to hide our baby's gender, even from closest family and friends, because you might treat it differently if it's a girl or treat it differently if it's a boy. And we don't want you to do that. We want you to treat it just like they're the same. You know, because boys and girls are exactly the same. That's science. Well, it's science now. Biology doesn't matter anymore. What we have now instead is moronology. That tells us, yeah, you know what? You change the world by not telling anybody your baby's gender. You freaking morons. What do you? Okay, let's for a moment say that gender bias is a thing that you cannot consciously stop. Okay, it's an unconscious bias, you all. I think they mean subconscious, because an unconscious bias would be when you're asleep, which maybe these people are. So much of gender bias is unconscious. You said a mouthful there, Hobbit. So much of gender bias is unconscious. So we know we're dealing with a science scholar here, right? But okay, stay with me. Stay with me just for a moment, okay? Anoush here. The only two people in the world, well, besides hopefully doctors, who know Anoush's sex, not gender, sex is the word you're looking for in this place, or in this instance, you morons, are mom and dad. So the only people that can be unconsciously biased towards this child is his own parents, her own parents, its own parents, Anoush's own parents. Oh my God. Be careful, guys, of that unconscious bias. Subconscious is the word you're looking for, you absolute dumbass. You bad parent. No, and then I'm not going to say they're a bad parent. They might be a good parent otherwise, but this, you're just being stupid. And is there something wrong with girls being girls and boys being boys? I mean, we used to have tomboys and, sissies. Are we allowed to say sissy? I can't remember. but you didn't have to, oh my God, that girl, she likes a couple of boy things. She must really be a dude. We screwed it up by letting people be unconsciously biased towards it. Oh God, I hate this world sometimes. I really do. I want to grab people like this and just shake them and go, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why are you ruining your children? You're doing this for you. You're not doing it for them. This is some moronic nonsense you came up with because your dad didn't hug you enough, or your mom wouldn't let you play with Barbie, whatever it was. And now it's like, now I'm going to fight the patriarchy and gendered normality with unconscious bias, y'all. Good morning, Vanilla Bear. How you doing, sweetheart? I hadn't read the story. I read the headline. And I knew it was going to be stupid. I did not expect the term unconscious bias. That's not a real thing, is it? I'm not screwing this up, am I? It's subconscious is the word they're actually looking for, right? Unconscious is, when you're asleep or out cold or in a coma. That's unconscious. Anyway, now the rest of what we got a lot of political news today. Some of it okay, some of it not. Somebody's going to get sad. Somebody might get sad. Major Democratic donor Ed Buck is arrested, charged with running a drug den. And I say he's going to get sad because the picture with this story is him with Hillary. Let's bring that up here so y'all can see the picture. See, I'm not making up. So keep an eye out for old Ed here to get sad. Oh, Ed here. Ed, you better keep your mouth closed about any dirty secrets, But for those of you who don't remember, you see, old Ed here, Ed's had a couple of problems. Ed, on a couple of occasions, I think it's 3 now to be exact, at least two, on 2 occasions, black men have died surrounded by drug paraphernalia in his house. And he's like, I don't know how that keeps happening, man. I don't know. I invite them over, and then suddenly they're just dead with needles and crack pipes and bongs everywhere. And at the time of the second one, everybody's like, "Oh, wait a minute, this can't be right." Mr. Napoli, I'll check my Twitter when I get there, bud. Ed Buck, the California Democrat mega donor, was arrested Tuesday and charged with operating a drug house after a third man reportedly suffered an overdose inside his West Hollywood home last week and survived. This one survived, you guys. This one survived. Buck has faced public scrutiny after 2 black men died from overdoses 18 months apart inside his home. He was not charged in those cases. Buck was charged with 3 counts of battery and is accused of injecting the alleged third victim with methamphetamine on September 11th. Prosecutors wrote in court papers obtained by the Times, that Buck used his position of power to manipulate his victims into participating in sexual fetishes, or into his sexual fetishes. Seymour Amster, Buck's attorney, told Fox News that he would not comment on the arrest and said he was dealing with the issue. Amster has in the past defended his client and insisted that he did nothing wrong. You've had 2 men already overdose and die, and a third one overdose and accidentally live. And I'm going to say accidentally because I'm not going to say this guy's a serial killer, but that's only because he didn't get to kill enough of them. He'd bring gay black men back to his house, have some butt sex with them, and get them really, really high and kill them. Good job, Buck. Good job, Ed. Don't you know they're supposed to get sad in an alley somewhere? Ask Hillary. That's how you take care of problems in your life. Yeah, so it was a big what the hell moment when they didn't charge him the first or after the second time, because that first one, Monkey, I joined this chat when you said naked black man, and I'm about to get naked. How's work going, bud? How's that working out for you so far? And it's nice to see you, Bear. But yeah, he brought a second black guy to his house, and okay, if you have one instance, I brought this guy to my house. I didn't know he was going to use drugs. I fell asleep. I woke up and he's dead with, a circle of drugs around him, like the Joker in the knives around the Joker in Suicide Squad. That's how I picture it. But when the second time happens and the prosecutor didn't do anything, you didn't go, all right, look, man, we're at least going to have to charge you on drug possession here. This is in your house and there's tons of it. Again, like he brought his own brick of crack with him. And by the way, I don't know if it was crack or what it was. In this case, apparently it was meth. I'm doing okay, Bear. I'm doing okay. More wide awake than I wish I was right now. Lady Monkey has tomorrow off, and I'd love to spend that time with her and not sleep all day. Guys, I finished my game stream today. Well, yesterday at 9:45 in the morning. Well, that's about when I laid down, actually. And I didn't crawl out of bed until 7:30. And that's only because I had to pee. and then this room was closer than my bedroom, so I just came and sat in my chair. But, however, I'm medicated now, so I'm feeling better. Meth comes in bricks. I don't know what it comes in. I'm not a drug user, guys. I use pills that the doctor sends me. Or, well, sends to my pharmacy, and then I have to pick up. All right, I'm going to work. Need to get ready for work. Ha, weird to say that. Oh, good, man, good. Sorry, drop something. There we go. Least professional monkey on the internet. If you didn't believe me, now you know. What? Monkey pissed in his chair? No, I went to the bathroom, and then on my way back, this chair was closer than the bed. I don't know where I lost you there, Richo. Anyhow, so yeah, they're finally charging this guy. And like I said, a lot of us were like, why didn't you charge him after the last one? Apparently this guy is alive though, and yeah, if you helped him shoot up there, Ed, that makes you culpable, man. You're not going to skate by the same. I mean, he's a very wealthy donor to the DNC. He also does a lot of packet or bundling. Do you guys know what bundling is? It's where you get a whole bunch of donations together for one group. And that's what he does. That's what he's known for. So he's not going to go to like serious prison time for this. He's I mean, he's going to get a slap on the hand. They'll be like, "Oh, you killed a couple of black people? That's all right. Come back and support the DNC some more." Because we care about people of color. Don't worry, Ed. You got the money to get past this one. Is it wrong that I'm that cynical about our justice system? I mean, we're talking about New York. I'm surprised they bothered to indict him this time. If meth comes in crystals, does that make Beto a meth head? You're thinking of Marianne. Beth. Where did Beth come from? Beto is a dirt eater. Oh, Beto and meth makes Beth. That's what I just did. Oops. Beto's a dirt eater. That's what he did to get all better. Marianne Williamson is the crystal chick. I wonder if anybody's asked her if it was crystal meth. It would explain a lot of her stuff. Laying hands on black people to cure white people of their badness. Oh, that woman. She makes me happy. I wish she was in this last debate. It would have been so much better. Anyway, yeah, I just don't see anything really happening to the guy. I hope it does. I mean, I don't know if I would call him a murderer, but How you have two black people die in your okay? I need to stop with the black people part. That's just me race baiting the Democrats. How do you have two people die in your house from overdoses? A third one almost die in your house, and you pretend like you didn't know any of it happened. Would you just have a crack couch sitting around and oh shit, I forgot to put up the crack pouch. Crack pouch. Crack, god damn it. The crack couch. Oh my god. And they found it and used it. How do you have three people OD in your house and you didn't know anything about the drugs? Monkey, did you hear Marianne disavowed crystals? I didn't. But she's also said that she wasn't an anti-vaxxer when she quite clearly is. Marianne has tried to distance herself from her crazy, hoping people will take her serious. Thank you for that, Becca. Hashtag words are hard. Shut up. Be nice to me. I'm a cripple. Is it wrong? I haven't played that card in a while. I can use it. I can do that. Excuse me. Who am I talking about? I remember hearing about it, but that I don't remember his name. His name is Ed Buck, and he's been indicted now. Well, was he indicted or just arrested? I can't remember. He's just been arrested. There you go. He's arrested and charged with. I'm not sure what the exact charge is. He's charged with trying to kill a dude, I guess, for shooting methamphetamine up the guy. Are you even supposed to shoot meth? I thought you smoked meth. I don't use, so I don't know. Somebody a little more knowledgeable than me in chat, let me know. Can you shoot meth? That seems like a bad idea. Anyhow, not that meth in any form is a good idea. You can smoke, snort, or shoot. All right. I feel like they got all the bases covered there. Anyway, so yeah, he shot up it's weird to say it though. He shot up someone. He helped somebody shoot up. And all right, let's get on to our next story because this one will be interesting to see. McCabe says he won't take a deal if he's indicted. Andrew McCabe, the former acting FBI director who's been told he may be indicted told CNN on Tuesday that he would never cut a deal with federal prosecutors to avoid an indictment. Dun, dun, dun. McCabe has found himself a target of investigators and Republicans, including President Donald Trump, since 2016, when he authorized a leak to the then Wall Street Journal reporter about a conversation he had endorsing the investigation of the Clinton Foundation. McCabe's a dick who probably should end up in jail, but he's not going to take any deal. I like what he said. I'm not going to take a deal to avoid indictment. So what he's saying there, you guys, is I'm not going to sell out the deep state. Excuse me. I took my medicine like 45 minutes ago, so I'm going to get into a yawny phase here, and I do apologize for that. But give me a moment. Give me a moment to work through that because it takes me a little while. But McCabe is on the chopping block. They're wondering about him and some of the leaks that came out when he was in the FBI. And an indictment of the former acting FBI would be an unusual prosecution of a senior law enforcement official who's become a political foe of the current administration. No. He was a foe of them before they became the current administration. But yeah, he had some involvement in the Russian probe. And what he's doing right there, guys, by saying, hey, I'm not going to take a deal to avoid indictment, is he's telling Hillary Clinton that he's not sad. He's saying, look, I will just go to jail for the shit I did. I prefer not to end up sad. It happens. That's what happens when you roll with Democrats and Clintons and yeah. Huh. That's what happens when you try to help take down the president who beat Hillary, and you fail, and your time to answer for it comes up, you better make sure Hillary knows you are not sad, or you will stab yourself to death right in the back. You'll pop yourself in the head twice, in the back of the head, because that's how people get sad when they know Hillary Clinton. So yeah, McCabe's out there. He's going, no. Look. I'm just going to go to jail for this rather than tell on anybody. There you go. He wants to be asked, banged. See, I'm trying to avoid that word, mind crime. I see what you said. I'm not offended by it, but I'm trying to avoid saying it myself. And I think I've done good so far. I haven't seen any fives, but I don't know if anybody's paying attention either. But yeah, I think what he's doing there is signaling to his buddies still within the deep state. You know, I wasn't a deep state supporter, and I'm not. And by supporter, I mean the idea of the deep state. But our what's the word I'm looking for? We have some people within our government who seriously seem to think that they run things. And they seem to, actually. I don't know if you guys remember this. Chuck Schumer on 2 different occasions has actually warned our sitting president, warned Donald Trump about crossing the likes of the CIA. Or what? Is the CIA going to kill him? Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, has warned the president of the United States that he should not cross the CIA. And nobody in the news batted a fucking eye. Whoops, there was an F-bomb for you. Nobody batted an eye. They're like, yep, you better not cross them. They're going to come for you. And they were okay with, everybody was okay with that. Like, yeah, sure. The CIA is just going to whack the president. You know, Chucky Schumer, listen to me, my friend. If you think that's a problem, if you think that the CIA might kill the sitting president of the United States, it's time to get rid of the CIA. That's not something you should be laughing about or thinking it's great or, you know, acceptable in any manner. Wait, for this little motherfucker, and yeah, I'm going to drop some F-bombs here. This little motherfucker will get up there and talk all day about subverting democracy and stolen elections and how we're contaminating the process. And then he'll get up there and think it's a good thing to suggest that the CIA might kill our president. If our CIA is that bad, if the CIA is that bad, we need to get rid of them. Just gone. And we had that, you know, Brennan, former director of the CIA, lost his shit because Trump pulled his clearance, his security clearance. Now, remember, he's no longer in the CIA. But Trump pulled his security clearance. Everybody's like, oh, Trump shouldn't do that. Like, why does he need it? Why does he need it? Is it so he can work on Chucky's little design there? Huh? Now, I don't mean to actually suggest that Brennan would be involved in a plot to kill the president. Chuck Schumer made that idea. How would you disband the CIA? Just dissolve them, cut out their funding, and say, oh, this is no longer a place. Now, is it a good idea to get rid of the CIA? The CIA is supposed to work on foreign intelligence, not on U.S. intelligence. That's not their job. They're not supposed to be involved with that at all. Unfortunately, apparently, according to a sitting U.S. senator, at the very least, even if you take the most generous reading of what Schumer said there, he's still talking about subverting the president to the point of getting rid of him. That's not okay. That's not okay. Remember the last president that wanted to disband the CIA, his brains are in Dallas. That's true. Kennedy talked about it. And if you watch JFK, that's one of the motives that is offered for why he got killed. I don't know about that, but yeah, it did happen. He was talking about doing, what was it, splintering the CIA into 1 million pieces or something like that. And oops, he died, and then that never happened. Brennan voted for the Communist Party in the 70s. That alone should have disqualified him from federal service, certainly of the CIA. But anyway, did I drop another 5 bomb? Did I? I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. We're past the 10-minute mark. Yesterday didn't get monetized. For all of my trying, it didn't get it. Yes, I know it was talked about on Fox Monopoly a little bit, and it should have been a major story across all media. You have a sitting, and it was. You know what? It was talked about it. But nobody was talking about it in a bad way. None of them was talking about it like, oh my God, I can't believe Schumer said that. They were all talking about it instead as though it was all right. Prospero says, what's not okay? What's not okay is Chuck Schumer going on national television and saying Donald Trump shouldn't cross the CIA. Basically saying that the CIA can do things to the president. If Schumer really believes that, then he should be arguing to get rid of the CIA because, well, Schumer's a fucking moron. You're not wrong, Prospero. However, do you think he was wrong on that? Do you think he's actually wrong on that the CIA could harm the president? Now, I think the CIA is probably much more likely to try to subvert the president, which I think we've seen, than to just out and out kill him. But I can see that too. I don't trust our CIA worth a damn. When you have the former CIA director losing his shit the way that Brennan did over losing his security clearance, which he does not need, I think it's time to ask questions about what's going on with the CIA. Like, dude, why is it so important to you? Why was that so important to you? Anyhow, so I don't even know how I got off on that part. I really don't. Okay. Now for the big story. Oh my God. So who was he? I forget which committee old Nadler runs. Which committee is it Nadler runs that had Lewandowski up there today? Is it Nadler? I thought it was Nadler. Somebody in chat will probably have it before me. Judiciary, there it is. Oh, you guys got it right as I found it. Thank you. I was looking it up. So Corey Lewandowski went before Nadler's committee, the Judiciary Committee, and he was up there to talk about his testimony to the special counsel, Robert Mueller, however you say his damn name. And the Democrats didn't like it. They did not like it one bit. Nadler's actually talking about holding him in contempt of Congress over his testimony today, which was amazing. I haven't got to see the whole thing, but God, he was having so much fun up there. Like at one point he called, because Swalwell was questioning him, and he called him President Swalwell, which is funny, guys, because he was the first presidential candidate to drop out of the race. And then Swalwell asked him if he'd kept notes about talking to the president. And he said, yeah, I kept him in a safe. And he goes, oh, a safe. How big was that safe? It was a very big safe. Lots of guns in it. Like, oh my God. Because Swalwell is the one, for those of you who don't remember, who actually put out the idea that Beto is now running with. That was Swalwell's campaign. What's the word I'm looking for? His campaign pledge, promise, whatever you want to say, was to go after the AR-15s and take them back. And if you don't give them back, the United States is going to nuke you. So we're dealing with a really smart guy here, Eric Swalwell. But Corey gets up there and they want answers. They want answers. And it started almost immediately in his opening statement. He was a dick to him. But then Nadler, being the chairman, gets to ask questions first. And he asked Corey, did you say this to the special prosecutor that you did such and such, or that you met with the president on May 18th, I think it was? I forget the exact date. And Lewandowski's like, what page is that on? I don't have that information. Can you tell me what it is? And I was like, you don't need the information. Did you tell him you met with the president? He goes, can you tell me what page that was on? Oh, it was awesome. He was just being a stonewalling dick. Now, here's the thing. I know we're supposed to have some reverence for our Congress. I don't. Not for this group of shitbags. Not for the people on the Justice Committee right now, the Judiciary Committee, who are trying to do an end run around. If you guys think there's enough for a impeachment, bring it to the full House. You little shitbags didn't do that. There's no vote to start impeachment hearings or even an impeachment investigation. This idiot did it on his own because I don't know if you've seen that fat little turd. And by the way, Nadler, he is fat and little. This guy looks like somebody smushed a regular size man. And he's a bully. He's a little fucking bully. And he thinks he's just going to get in there. Look, we got egg on our face from everything we've done so far trying to get this president removed. Why not go even further and show just how dumb we are? And Corey was having none of it. Now, the big story that's being pushed right now, because they had nothing else. They had nothing else. But at one point, they let the Congressional Council get up there and ask Lewandowski some questions. And even he didn't do well. He tried. But Corey's been in politics for a while, you guys, and you could tell by his answers. But the guy's trying to get Corey to admit that he's a liar. And the only thing he got Corey to admit to is that he's under no obligation to tell the truth when he's on TV. And you know what? That's true. It's absolutely true. He is under no obligation. Look, you guys might not know this. I don't know if this is something that Americans aren't taught. It's legal to lie on television. We hear this all the time, and it's actually one of the things that you lied to the American people. All right, maybe he did. So we don't give him a job again in government. But you know what we don't do? Pretend there's any crime there. They didn't suggest that anything he said in his testimony to the special counsel was wrong. They don't suggest any of it was a lie. The only thing that they did was just try to. Sheila Jackson Lee. Oh, there's a great moment there. She is just going off on one of her crazy rants because that bitch is old and insane. And at the end of it, Nadler goes, the gentleman will have just a moment to answer the question. He goes, I didn't hear a question. And she goes, oh, there was a question. He goes, well, you can repeat the question. Or can you repeat it? Because all I heard was ranting. And he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. But the headlines everywhere. Corey admitted he lied on television. Dun, dun, dun. So that is entirely irrelevant to anything that's going on. Literally irrelevant to any questions they're asking. The only time he has to tell the truth is when he's under oath or when he's being questioned by like the FBI, because you're not allowed to lie to investigators. But there's no hint that he did that. So they're trying to show that he's a liar. And like, he actually said at one point, I'm under no obligation not to be hyperbolic. And he's not. You're legally allowed to lie to reporters. It's true. You can look it up. Reporters don't have some, what's the word? They're not government. They're not actual investigators. They're not in any way protected from you bullshitting them. And I recommend you bullshitting them all the time. Subpar, I'm sorry, I really am, but that word is killing monkey. If he doesn't see the word, then he may not say it. No, look, man, you guys can keep saying it in chat. I'm doing my best not to say it. And look, I said it last night. There are times I will drop F-bombs with no problem. No problem at all. Lying under oath is only under oath is lying a crime. Indeed, exactly. Well, no, you're not under oath when you're, well, I've never been arrested. Are you technically under oath at that time? I mean, they tell you anything you say can be used against you, but you can be charged with lying to the FBI. Do you actually have to be sworn in under oath to talk to them? Did you see that Lewandowski is running for the Senate? I saw that. So there's a break in the testimony where they have to take a moment, and Lewandowski goes outside as they're break, and he goes on Twitter and basically announces a 2020 Senate run, which apparently Trump had been hinting to. I vaguely recall that when I saw it in the story. It's like, oh yeah, I remember him talking about that. But I'm not like a fan of Lewandowski or anything, so slips in and out. Advisory rights and lying to the FBI is their cute little exception. Yeah, I mean, there's for the most part, you have to be under oath for lying to be a crime. The exception, there are exceptions, so be careful. But if you're on television, you can lie your ass off if you want to. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It might make you look like a liar, but legally, there's no problem. I wonder if Ben Shapiro is going to say, don't care what Lewandowski says. He assaulted Michelle Fields. Probably. Ben has been big on that whole part of it. But look, Lewandowski is a smarmy little shitbag. He is. And he's exactly what you would expect a political advisor to be if you pay attention to politics at all. But what they're trying to do here, because they want Porter up there, and I forgot the other guy. They just want to get somebody up there to tell them everything you think is true, and none of them are going to. None of them are going to. But they're going to keep this charade up because they have to, because they have nothing else. We keep seeing this. When even Michael Moore is up there telling you right now Donald Trump would be reelected, they have to do something. Their message isn't resonating. They've already tried with the impeachment, but with Mueller, and that blew up in their face. There's no Russia collusion going on. That was something they should have stopped immediately. And what they should have stopped that and focused on policy. But they haven't, and they won't, because they know their policies aren't particularly likable. Instead, people are like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the devil I know. I realize you're promising me everything under the sun, Miss Warren, but yeah, I don't want that. Thank you. While being questioned by Barry Burke, a lawyer for the Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee, Lewandowski was shown a video of an interview. He said the clip can be interpreted any way you like. I have no obligation to be honest with the media, he told the panel, which is true. So you're admitting that you lie, or that on national television you were lying there, Burke asked. What I'm saying is they had been inaccurate on many occasions, and perhaps I was inaccurate that time. See what I mean? Smarmy little dick. But yeah, that's the major headline over on CNN about this. And I've actually seen this like 4 or 5 times on different media sites because Lewandowski lied to the press. To the press. And I know you guys in the press think you are above everyone else and that we're all supposed to bow down and kiss your ass. But here's the truth. You're not special. You're not. You're really not. The rest of us have all of the same rights you do. Like when Fredo Cuomo gets up there and says, we can look at this stuff that you guys in the regular public can't. He was a lying dickbag. There is no special thing that the press gets. By the way, any one of you can claim to be the press. It's not like a religion where you have to prove that you have a sect. But the press thinks they're very special. And oh boy. Don't you cross them, man, because that's it. As much as it is that they want to show, Lewandowski is this bad guy, that's what pissed him off. He lies to us, but we're the press. We're the press. How dare you? We're almost like part of the government. You're not. You're not. You're a bunch of shitbags who went to school to be indoctrinated as communists who came back out and are now trying to turn the rest of us that way. And the only exception to that is when they decide to hire some big-tittied woman that was on like a reality show or something for weather. They are special in a retarded kind of way. Well, okay, Sean, I'll give you that. The press has conflated themselves to the priestly caste. You're not right. Or not right. You're not wrong. The press sees themselves as better than us. This is why I'm not kidding you guys. We talked about it yesterday. This is why they went after Brett Kavanaugh again so hard. That's why nobody stopped and asked questions. Nobody stopped and asked questions. Not a goddamn one of these guys did. Every fucking one of them went up and went, new allegations come out against Kavanaugh. Not one of them asked a single fucking question. All they did was repeat it. Now, they did give themselves the cover. The New York Times put it in an analysis. Was it analysis, op-ed, opinion? I forget what label they had on that one. They have several. But it absolutely was not, by the way, it was not a news piece. So that gives them cover. And then, what is this? Oh, thank you. The U.S. statute for lying to the FBI. Thank you. Thank you, Prospero. But yeah, so the New York Times gave themselves cover by making it an opinion piece, basically. And all of the other press, what's the word I'm looking for here? Outlets. All of the other press shitbags, they just, according to the New York Times. That way they didn't have to do any actual research. They didn't go find this woman or look up the fact that the FBI had already tried talking to her. Did you guys know that from that story? Yeah, that's true. All of this new thing we uncovered had been out there. It had already been out there. And the fact that the woman had said, yeah, or at least her friends said she has no recollection of it, that's been out there. John Migda, thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, guys, don't forget, Monkey in the Morning is brought to you by you. And if you could support the show by liking, sharing, maybe tossing $1 or $2 in the hat, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's a Streamlabs link below and the what's that called? Super chat link right there. Not necessary, but greatly, greatly appreciated. Anyway, so the reason they did this, the reason they went after him so hard is because he was supposed to go away when he first did it. When this first came up, before Kavanaugh got confirmed, he wasn't supposed to make it. The press had deemed it so. We have all of this stuff against this man. No way should he ever. What? Wait, did they just confirm him? Oh, we're gonna get him. They do this all the time with people, by the way. When people get away from the press and the press gets egg on their face like that, they are very vindictive and usually end up looking like bigger assholes in the end anyway. It is rare for them to come back after him and actually have something. So yeah, it was just the press being a bunch of shitbags who think they're better than everybody and get to decide how things are run. For all of the talk of a deep state, the press is worse than any of that shit. Worse than any of it. They think they get to tell the rest of us what's right and wrong. I mean, like I said, Cuomo himself thinks that he's allowed to see things we're not. There is no special provision for you there, Cuomo. Fredo, you're a moron, and you probably should shut up and just go home and live off the money you've already made. But yeah, he got up on TV and like, we as the press, we can see things that you guys can't. That's not true. But they think it's true because, our press is full of a bunch of shitbags. They really are, man. It is disturbing how bad our press is. Look, we all know they're one-sided. And again, this goes for both Fox and CNN and MSNBC. We know they're giving us one side of the story, depending on which one you're watching, which side of the story you're getting. But for the most part, and even over on Fox, you guys, Fox is not the conservative stronghold you think it is. They have conservatives on at night, their primetime lineup. You got Tucker, who's not even actually all that conservative if you listen to him talk to Sean Hannity. He's just more of one of those people who sees stupid and calls it out. He's Bill O'Reilly with a bow tie and a funny face that he makes. Sean Hannity's definitely left. And then that 10 o'clock spot, it depends on who they have on there. Greta definitely, I don't know who's in the 10 o'clock spot over there now. Last I saw it was Greta, and I haven't been watching for a while. So, but they're not as conservative as you think, especially when it comes to the actual news. You have to remember that the 8, 9, and 10 blocks, those are all what's the word I'm looking for here? Commentary. It's all commentary. And if you watch their actual news, like Shep Smith is he's not a righty. But so the vast majority of what I'm getting at, the vast majority of all of our news is decided by liberals. It absolutely is. They're the ones who set the narrative. And their narrative it's pretty obvious to see these days. It's pretty obvious to see these days. How long till the press just throw themselves on the ground and cry and scream like a toddler? Well, I mean, we basically saw that with Jim Acosta losing his press pass. I get what you're getting at. You mean literally, but that was pretty much the figurative part of it. And the rest of what did the rest of the press do? They came to his defense. Press Bear says Brett Baer is a solid news guy. Yeah, I would. At least last time I saw him, like I said, I haven't watched these guys in a while. I don't watch much actual news. I read a lot. Usually if I'm talking about a news clip, it's because it's blown up into something, or I just happen to come across it. I did not show up to raid your chat, Monkey. That being said, anyone want to be raided? Excuse me. Acosta spit his binky out and tantrumed out. Yeah, that was something special, wasn't it? Who was it? I want to talk about that if I can find it. Ah, I don't have it, so never mind. Um, it was somebody talking about the whole Gillis firing. Shane Gillis, is that his name? Over there at Saturday Night Live. And I do forget who it was. I forget the comedian's name, and I apologize for that. But they made the point, you have all these people getting upset over what Shane Gillis said because he made some racially sensitive jokes. But these same people are going out watching a clown murder children. They have no problem with that at all. And I've made this point before using things like Game of Thrones. You guys ever watch Game of Thrones? Actually watch Game of Thrones? The Game of Thrones was a pretty disgusting television show. Rape, murder, incest, lots of incest. What else did you have over there? Genital mutilation, torture, all kinds of shit, man. People love that show. People love that show. Oh, God. Mata says, have you seen Philly's take on that? No, I did not see Philly D's take on that. I'll have to look it up because I'm sure it's great. No, Danger Space. It isn't one of those two. It's Jim Norton. Thank you, Jim Beam. Set it up top there. I knew it was a name I hadn't heard in quite a while, but yeah, Jim Norton. But yeah, he's like, look, you have people who go and watch it. They have no problem with it. Becca says, love Bill Burr's new special. So did I. There were parts of it that were a little predictable. They were still kind of funny. But otherwise, I most definitely enjoyed Dave Chappelle's new one more than I like Bill Burr's. But I would recommend Bill Burr's. I saw Memory Holiday on Twitter. She said, I only got through 6 minutes of it and I just couldn't watch anymore. I'm like, all right. It's definitely everybody has their own taste. But yeah, I thought it was, there was no point of it where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to turn this off. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm a little wheezy and stuff. Damn, season's changing, which in Michigan literally happens daily. It goes back and forth. Sinuses. So I keep muting myself so you don't have to hear all of that. I don't have Netflix. Can you get Dave's new one on YouTube somewhere yet? Not that I know of, Richo. You can watch quite a bit of it on Twitter, though. I mean, there's lots of people who've clipped it. Burr was good 10 years ago. It would have been considered twice as good. That was one of the complaints that several people I saw had with it, is that it was I think even memories like it was 2015 comedy, and I see this stuff a lot, and that's become the thing with, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Midnight, but that's 2015 comedy. As though 2015 was the only time you were ever allowed to say anything edgy. Bill Burr, if you actually watch his show, you get that he's a rather liberal guy. He's a rather liberal guy if you listen to what he's actually saying throughout there. Same with fucking Dave Chappelle. These are not conservative comedians. But they're hitting at the people you're not supposed to make fun of anymore. This is why I actually got into a little bit of an argument. And I didn't get into a real argument over it, but I had to correct Fane on something I saw him say. Because Sofane has been pushing really hard against anybody who makes the I identify as joke. You know what I mean? The I identify as a attack helicopter, that kind of stuff. And I'm tired of seeing people, that is so old. That's such an old joke. You know what? It's still a funny joke unless you don't really give a shit about that argument anymore. I just want to remind you guys at the top of the show, we talked about a couple that's not telling anybody the gender of their baby because of unconscious bias. Fucking unconscious bias. Because of unconscious bias. The whole gender pronoun thing, it is still a thing. And this happens in society. This is what will happen. And you can watch it all the time. Something will happen. Take any subject in the world, all right? And there'll be let's say gay marriage, for example. Let's do gay marriage. This is what happened with gay marriage. Gay marriage all over the country, it comes up on ballots, including in California, and is shot down by overwhelming margins. Now, I don't care how you feel about gay marriage. Just listen to the timeline. So you have gay marriage blows up everywhere. And everybody's like, no. And then Gavin Newsom decides to make gay marriage legal in San Francisco against the law. By the way, remember that when you hear people talk about law and order. We have gay marriage because of breaking the law. Just throwing that out there. So Gavin Newsom doing that causes the gay marriage debate to just explode. Just explode, man. And then it quiets down. It just kind of quiets down a little bit. There's still some, you don't hear much about it anymore. It comes up now and then in the news. And suddenly, I just don't care about gay marriage anymore. So people would say, I don't care. I don't care. And if the Supreme Court hadn't gotten involved, it probably would have started passing everywhere. Because people are like, I don't care. So then the Supreme Court says, hey, look, marriage is legal. Gay marriage is legal. And that was the end of it. It just went away. That's what happens. You get everybody worked up. And then you wait for it to die down so that you can just do that same thing anyway. Anything leftist that you want to do, that's what happens. You have a big blow up and then it quiets down and the left gets their way. Every fucking time. And I'm not letting it happen with pronouns. I'm not calling you Zer. I will call you the pronoun that you look like or that I know you as. Period. I'm not going to be a dick about it. I'm not going to go like I don't do the Riley Dennis is a he thing because I don't care. That's not the argument I want to have with Riley. There's so many other problems with Riley. But if Riley came out and told me I had to call him a Zer, he'd go fuck himself. See, and I still call him a him because that's what I've known him as the longest. And for the record, I never knew that Riley's a him. I'm just not getting into the. I'm not letting this one go because you don't get to just decide what you are. That's not how the fucking world works. And I am under no fucking obligation to pander to your delusions. And when I say that, I'm not talking about actual trans people. And yes, there is such a thing as an actual trans person. And I will call out people I think are trans trenders because I don't give a fuck. And you know what? You can look at me and go, that's so 2015. And I'll tell you to go get fucked because it's still a thing that's happening. This is not a good thing for our society. It's really not. Pandering to stupid is not a good idea. Playing to the delusions of fucking morons is not a good idea. You can't. Compelled speech is tyranny. Exactly, Prospero. You know what? I don't give a damn what you are. You can't, as much as you can't tell me what I can say, or you can't tell me what I have to say either. You can kiss my ass. Ebony, yes, we are doing fives, but if I get into a rant like that, you can skip it because I understand I'm doing it at that point. It's those odd ones. And you know, I think I did a pretty good job on my game stream yesterday. I think I only said it twice. But as I've pointed out, man, I miss a lot of those that I say. But no, I'm not giving up this whole pronoun thing. It's dumb. Especially when you start talking to me about non-binary. It's not a thing. And we're not talking in this case about something like gay marriage, which is just a decision for society to make. We are talking about actual science here. The same people that tell me I have to pay attention to the science when they feed me a bunch of bullshit about global warming can't pay attention to simple human biology. You're going to preach to me about science, motherfucker? How about you look in your pants and tell me what the fuck you are? Because I bet it's not what you're telling me, Sheila. My name is Sheila. And again, I understand. Yes, gender dysphoria is a thing, and I can't even imagine what that's like. And I understand the implications of that. And that's the problem right there, is that I do understand. I do understand. One of my first videos was about this very topic. There was a girl who supposedly killed herself because the doctors in the hospital used her wrong pronouns. That ain't why she did it. That ain't why she did it. She didn't have to go into the hospital and them call her that. They called her a her, and like, oh, now I have to kill myself. That's not what happened. This girl had problems beyond this, and you have to get way to the bottom of the article I read before you ever hear that. But they blamed it on her being in the hospital and that the doctors calling her a her. You know why doctors called her a her? Because treating men and women are different. If somebody goes into the hospital for a stomach ache, you might check to see if they're pregnant, if they're a woman. If somebody goes in with blood in their stool, you might check their prostate. If they're a dude, you're not going to switch those two around because women don't have prostates and men can't get pregnant. I don't care what the fucking BBC has told you. That's a bearded woman. That's not a man. Stop telling people men have had babies. They haven't. It's fucking retarded. We are absolutely abandoning simple science. We're not even talking about weather patterns or atmospheric pressures and CO2 concentrations. We're talking about simple fucking human biology. And we can't seem to figure out how that works. Yeah. Can't seem to figure out how that works. And you know what? Making fun of those kind of people, I don't care if you think that's just so 2015. I'm going to make fun of them because they're still fucking funny to me. These people should be in hospitals. They should be in hospitals figuring out what the fuck is wrong. Man. But no, that's not what we do. We've moved to a point where we're treating these people seriously. We're treating these people seriously. And look, again, I get it. Gender dysphoria is a real thing. Well, it used to be. Haven't they removed that classification? Because it's not helping those poor transgenders out. Because you'll have these people actually say, no, I don't have any gender dysphoria. Riley Dennis. No, I'm not really dysphoric. I said that. Fucking said that. I really don't feel any dysphoria. Then you're not trans. You're just a dude who likes to wear spaghetti strap tops. That's what you like. And you think that makes you a chick. And then you have sex with a woman and call yourself a fucking lesbian. You're a retard is what you are. You need to go just shut the hell up because you are doing a disservice to trans people. And that's what all of these are. The absolute number of people who've come out as trans since it's become so not just socially acceptable, socially advantageous to do so is disgusting. You are talking about a group of people that 40% of them try to kill themselves. Actually try to kill themselves. That's where that number comes from, you know. It's the number of people who attempt suicide. 41%, both before and after surgery. And you're going to go out there and pretend you're one of them so you can get some attention. And then you're going to tell me I have to call you Zer and tell me that there's 76 genders and that you can be gender fluid. You can be gender fluid. You can wake up one day a man and the next day as a woman. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. What you guys are doing is making up stupid shit. And those of you who go on and promote that, or who are now decided, you know what, that's not a fight worth having, you are perpetuating stupid shit. You are making society dumber. You are actually making society dumber. You're not helping things. I don't want to judge people. Some people need to be judged. And you judge people all the time. So shut the fuck up. Stop pretending that. I don't judge people. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You judge people who you think are judging people. We went over this the other day. If you say you shouldn't judge people, you're judging people who judge people. Stop it. You can't not judge people. We do it all the time. Are you telling me you don't look down on murderers? Because if you say you don't judge people, that's what you're saying. Are you saying you have no problem with child molesters? Uh-oh, monkey, don't throw that out there. That's going too mean. Well, if you're saying you don't judge people, you're saying you have no problem with child molesters. That's what you're saying, for fuck's sake. Because to see them as bad people is to fucking judge them. But no, that's not what they're talking about, man. No. What they mean is they don't judge people. They don't like you judging. That's what they're saying. Because that's what they actually mean. They're just too fucking stupid to understand it. Whew. I've been on a rant, huh? I didn't even mean to do this. This was what the fuck led me to this? How did I start talking about this, y'all? This is what happens when Monkey is just allowed to ramble. But yeah, it annoys me because you're not helping society. You're actively standing in the way of progress. You are standing in the way of progress. You are looking at science, settled science. And that's my new one, or my new favorite. It's not settled science. Well, it was. It was until you started deciding you had to find some way to justify this shit. The way you had to you have to find a way to justify it. And they tried doing that with, Prospero just meant, it was gay marriage, illegal things. It was actually, when I got onto the Bill Burr thing, is that what actually started it. The gay marriage thing. Do you realize how much they fucked up in the gay marriage debate? How much they absolutely fucked up? The answer to gay marriage, why it should be legal. They're two consenting adults. None of your fucking business. That's it. That's it. And instead they gave us, they were born this way. You're born this way. You know where that's being used now? Do you remember the slippery slope a lot of us talked about back then? Do you know where it's being used now? The same place many of us told you it was going to be used. MAPS. Child molesters. Minor attracted people. They were born this way, man. It is a sexual orientation. That's what we're being told now. You couldn't just say two consenting adults. No. Because there's no moral argument to make there. No moral argument. You had to try to use science for it. I mean, they've been looking for a gay gene since the 70s. You know what they found out? There's no fucking gay gene. There's no gene that just gay people carry. But that's what they tried to do. They tried to make it more scientific than it actually was. How about they're two consenting adults? It's none of our business. You know what, though? You know what? Even that brings up problems that we're going to have in society. Do you know what happens if you use the argument they're just two consenting adults? What about incest? Oh, and I know people don't like to talk about this one. Oh. But what about it? Two consenting adults. Why is it the government's business at all? It's not my fucking business. You want to go bang your sister? It's not my fucking business. I think it's disgusting and I will judge you for it. But you see, when we talk about that, you're not allowed to. We have to try to stay away from things. Don't compare gays to incestuous relations. I'm comparing all of them to it. The age of consent in your state, which I hope is 18 and should be 18, though it's not in some places, Alabama or wherever the fuck it is, 16. I know there's a lot of states where it's 16. But yeah, let's move that up, shall we? Anyway, if you're consenting adults, I don't care what you do. I really don't. Consenting adults. That's my limit. And you know what? That does mean that if somebody said, this brother and sister want to marry each other, do you think they should be able to? Like, I think it's gross, but it's none of my fucking business. Why not? Let them. Why not? Let them. None of my fucking business. You know what is my business? When you start trying to bring kids into that. That's where it's my concern. When you start telling me that pedophilia is a fucking sexual orientation, they were just born this way. You know? Like Lady Gaga. Just born that way. That's what we got, man. Because people won't just be honest about stuff. So we got maps popping up everywhere. We got kids being raised as nothings. Agnoosh or whatever the fuck his name is. Just, yeah. It's where society's headed because people, that is so 2015. You're not allowed to, you're not allowed to question this shit anymore because it's already been questioned. That's what happens. It's already been questioned. We've already settled that, even if it hasn't been settled. Even if it hasn't been. Hey, look, we talked about that before. Is what they really. We talked about that, and we've decided. Look, guys, the pedophilia thing's coming. You might not like it, but it's coming. And a lot of us warned about this with the gay marriage debate. A lot of us warned about it. And anytime you make an argument about slippery slopes, people, that's a slippery slope argument. Yeah. You know why? Because it makes sense. We're talking about things going downhill. It is a slippery fucking slope. Just saying slippery slope isn't a fucking argument, you retard. You know what? Okay, I'm going to go off on another one. Slippery slope is the first fallacy, actually. I like to call it the first fallacy because it was the first one people used to use all the time to just ignore an argument. That's a slippery slope. We can't talk about that. That's not going to be real. It's a slippery slope fallacy. And then some jackass went to college and their professor just told them all about all different fallacies. That's an appeal to authority fallacy. It's not a fucking argument. Saying fallacy is not a fucking argument. You know what it is? It's a cop-out. It's you saying I'm too fucking stupid to make an actual argument. Anyhow, good night, Nuts. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for dropping the link into the Streamlabs there. The pedosexual thing is already here with Slate, Vice, Vox, and Ted pushing it as normal now. Not just them, man. There was a dude the other day on Twitter showed a picture from his classroom in some college he's at. I forget which college it is. But yeah, up there on the screen, pedophilia and other sexual orientations. Yep. It's here. It's coming. It's going to be here in force soon. It's probably why they want to take away guns. There's a whole lot of people who don't like pedophiles. Got to get rid of them first. Ed Buck was involved with a children's charity. I'm not shocked. Look, Ed Buck had his money all over the place too. And like I said, I don't think Ed Buck is going to get in any trouble. For those of you just joining us, Ed Buck is a very rich donor to democratic causes. And he's a bundler. He's also been arrested now because allegedly he shot a dude up with methamphetamine and that dude overdosed. Coincidentally, 2 men have died in his home from drug overdoses, which, by the way, he knew nothing about. I think you can say fallacy, but you need to back it up with an argument. Fair enough, but if you're backing it up with an argument to begin with, I feel like you don't need to yell fallacy. Dorky says, "Why are my messages disappearing?" You have to ask YouTube, sweetheart. It is not me. I do not in any way moderate my chat. I have nothing to do with any moderation in my chat. Let's assume you were bored with child attractions. So what? People are born with disease and deformity. Doesn't mean we say they're okay. Well, actually, we do now. Remember, everybody's born the same. We're all the same. And Dorky, yeah, if you're trying to say my name in chat, that's probably why. But there's a few other words that apparently YouTube auto censors. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. They auto censor chats now. And one of the worst things you can apparently say is ranting monkey. Instead of saying fallacy, as though words are magical incantations that stop conversations, explain why the argument is faulty specifically. Exactly. Scam says, I've been able to say monkey all night. Some people can. Jack Gunsky just said ranting monkey. Dangerous did it. Devil Fruit did it. There's some people who just can't. I can't do it. Last time I tried, it kicked my messages right out. Those two didn't overdose. They were born that way. Oh, Frankie. Well played, sir. Well played. Make sure you have live chat on too. Top chat skips a lot. Top chat will skip anything with swear words in it, as well as any, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial words. Because I'm pretty sure it'll skip words like Nazi as well, even though you can be like, I hate Nazis, and it'll fucking skip it. Because when it comes to AI, it's not that smart. It's really not that smart. We have this idea, or at least some people seem to, that artificial intelligence is just as smart as people, and it's really not. Artificial intelligence is only as smart as the idiot who programmed it. I work with kids. We had to do a day learning what signs to look for in sexual abuse. Heard about example cases, wanted to shoot myself at the end of the day. Dude, I can't even read those stories. I get angry. Like, angry. There's a reason I do not do stories about kids getting hurt we specifically say dead kids. But yeah, I don't do molestation. I don't do murder. Not here. This is my safe space. Monkey had a job interview today. No guarantees, but it looks promising. Oh, cool. I hope it works out. I really, really do. I remember those days, man. When I left Walmart the first time, the only time. When I left Walmart, I had actually applied for the job that I wanted the year before, and I screwed up a computer-based test I had to do. The directions were kind of complicated, and I didn't quite understand what it meant until about the fourth question out of 10. And if you fail that test, you can't take it again for a year. I was devastated because, I'd already had an interview and everything. And the woman loved me. And I know this because the person who told me about the job had worked for me at Walmart, actually. And she's like, Frank, you gotta get in here. It's a great place. And she wasn't wrong. When I finally did get in there, it was a great place. So the next time I took the test, I aced it. But yeah, they loved me, but unfortunately screwed up that test. And so I was devastated, man. Just devastated. Because one, at that point, the manager we had at the store and the way things were being run were just on my last nerve. And I had this thing that like, I could get out of here and go make money at a desk job. And unfortunately, so it fell through. So when I finally did get hired, oh God, I was so happy. But then I was looking to go back to Walmart after I'd been there for a while. largely because Walmart had increased their pay for managers, and my old store wanted me to come back and be a manager. And then this shit happened. Then this shit happened. And now I'm a cripple who comes and talks to you guys all day. And I get all my jobs of making a phone call and saying, "Hi, Joey, you said you needed a guy." "No, not Joey Lasagna, Joey D's nuts." "Cool. I'll see you Monday at 5. Well, if it works, whatever works, man. The woman loved you in the interview. Wow, interviews are different in the US, or have I misunderstood? Haven't you seen Casting Couch? Not that I have. I read about it on Christian Science Monitor. No, I do very well in interviews because I'm a personable guy. I didn't when I was younger, of course, because I used to be very, very shy. But now these days, yeah, I can go in and sit and bullshit with anybody, which is what an interview is, basically. You just need to make sure you know the kinds of questions they're going to ask. If you're going on a job interview, just look up the kinds of questions people ask. The worst question in an interview is, what are your weaknesses? And the best answer I ever heard to that was Jeff Foxworthy in his book. He's talking about when he got hired at IBM before he became a comedian. He worked at IBM where his dad worked all his life. And the guy, asked him, "What are your strengths?" And he goes, "Okay, what are your weaknesses?" And he said, "I just told you what's great about me. I'm not going to tell you what's wrong." But the actual best answer to that you can give is something like, "I tend to work too hard." Actually, don't tell them that, because they're going to be like, "Shut up." Tell me you're a perfectionist, that sometimes you end up concentrating too much on a single thing. And it might slow you down. So you have to be reminded. Something like that. Something that's not going to be horrible. I don't lie to them. I tell them my biggest weakness was getting distracted, because it is. But that actually worked out pretty well at Walmart, because things, so many things would come so fast. And in the other job, it didn't matter, because I was just kind of tied to a desk the whole time, and not a big deal there. What is? Sorry. Pennsylvania State Senator Mike Folmez arrested on child porn charges. Of course. A Pennsylvania State Senator was busted Tuesday on child porn charges, the state attorney general announced. Republican Senator Mike Folmer, 63, was charged with sexual abuse of children, possession of child porn, and criminal use of communication facilities after law enforcement found images of child pornography on his cell phone. Well, goodbye, fucker. Good luck with that in prison, you dirty motherfucker. God, I hate people. Why do I read news? What else we got here? American bookie found dead in Costa Rica. Well, seems like something caught up to him. 11-year-old foils robbery attempt by throwing bread and squash at thief. All right. Good for them. An 11-year-old girl and her father scared away a would-be robber in England by pelting the subject with bread and bottles of squash. Oh, that's English bread? Yeah, that stuff is probably heavy as hell. It's nasty. The British eat bread that has gone bad by our standards. That's why their teeth look like that. Oh, no. Bermuda judge slammed for saying he got horny during a murder trial. Oh, God. A now retired judge in Bermuda has been slammed by the Court of Appeal in England for remarking that he was getting horny during a murder trial. Carlisle Grievous, who served as a junior superior court judge, was presiding over the murder trial last fall for defendant Kyrie, I think I said it, Kyrie Smith Williams, when he told the court, "All this sex is beginning to get me horny." Grievous made the comment as the witness in the trial testified that he had shared some of the same women as Smith Williams, according to the news outlet. Um, um, why would you say that out loud and in the court? That's that's disturbing as fuck. And now for the other story that I really wanted to get to. I'm sorry I hadn't even got here yet. I'd forgotten about it until I just saw the headline. So we talked yesterday, guys, about Camel Toe Harris. We talked about Camel Toe because even though the story about Brett Kavanaugh's newest accuser had been proven false, she still had her tweet pinned, and by the way, she still does, that said, I sat through those hearings. Brett Kavanaugh lied to the U.S. Senate and most importantly to the American people. He was put on the court through a sham process, and his place on the court is an insult to the pursuit of truth and justice. He must be impeached. She still has that pinned, and she said she came out and said that just because this turned out not to be true doesn't mean that the other stuff wasn't true. So she's sticking to her guns, y'all. 2020 Democrats not retracting calls for Kavanaugh's impeachment. Despite the New York Times admitting that it removed a key exculpatory detail in its Brett Kavanaugh accuser piece, 2020 Democrats are not retracting their calls for impeachment of the newest Supreme Court justice. At least 6 Democratic presidential candidates, Camel Toe Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Antonio Mayor Julian Castro, and South Bend Pete Buttigieg, as well as former Texas Representative Beto O'Rourke, immediately called for Kavanaugh's impeachment following the Sunday Times article that mentions another graphic sexual misconduct allegation against the justice. That's graphic? Is that really graphic? Maybe I've watched too much porn and listened to too much testimony from the House and stuff, but that doesn't seem real graphic. But so far, none of the 2020 hopefuls have taken down their tweets calling for Kavanaugh's impeachment. The Post also reached out to all 6 campaigns to see if they'd like to update their calls for impeachment. By Tuesday evening, none had responded. On Tuesday, in fact, Warren renewed her calls for an investigation of Kavanaugh and used the latest allegation to push her anti-corruption proposal that would make it tougher for federal judges to dodge misconduct probes. He wasn't a judge when this was. Oh. This stuff is beginning to bother me. Right now, Brett Kavanaugh has been accused of lying to Congress during his confirmation hearings, Warren told reporters Tuesday. So that means he should have an investigation into it. And the way to do that is through an impeachment proceeding. No. Actually, we've already had the investigation, Senator Warren. That was the FBI one, and they turned up nothing. At best, you have the Debbie Ramirez thing where she said he waved his dick in her face. Your Blasey Ford thing, nobody remembers it but her, and even she doesn't remember it. She has a passing memory of being in the house, walking up the stairs, and for some reason, the 2 boys waiting at the top. Like what? They were just waiting for the first woman to go to the bathroom so they could try to rape her, which, by the way, they weren't even successful at. They laughed so much they fell off of you. It was such a bullshit. It's another one of those stories, you could see it from the beginning that it was just bullshit. From the very beginning, just listening to her story, just nonsense. Utter fucking nonsense. But we ran with it. We did the investigation. We had the hearings. But no. Miss Warren, we're not sure. We're not sure. She's a fucking idiot. How you doing, Jack?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm annoyed, but that's normal.
Yeah, another feeling.
Harris, a former prosecutor, also doubled down on Monday in an interview on NPR's Morning Edition. Quote, the fact that someone does not remember the details of the incident doesn't mean that there's lack of evidence if there's another witness who can establish the fact occurred. Did you guys catch that? The victim, I'm using air quotes. Actually, I didn't use air quotes. I just lied to you. Okay. Victim. There's my actual air quotes. Doesn't remember it happened. But Kamala, she's like, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. There's this dude who said it did. You know, this Democrat who has no reason at all to lie about it. Kamala, a prosecutor, actually said something with no evidence might be true. Wonder how many people are now applying for appeals. Well, hey, remember, this is the woman who has the district. Was she the district attorney at the time? Can't remember. She hid exculpatory evidence that would have got a man off death row. She had to be forced by a judge to turn that evidence over. She was going to let a man die rather than admit she was wrong. That's Camel Toe Harris.
She don't like losing.
Now,
see, this Kavanaugh thing is just like Brexit. We're going to keep having these discussions until you people get it right.
Yeah, indeed.
We said he's guilty. Now find it.
Prospero, exactly. She's a goddamn sociopath. Yeah, she was going to let that sink in, guys. She was going to let a man die. Oh, well. Oops.
Well, you know, the peasantry don't really matter as long as the nobles are morally correct.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for dropping those links for us there, Prospero. You're a sweetheart. Love you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Guys, if you'd like to support the show, please hit that like button and share the stream. But also, if you can, toss some money into the tip jar for both me and Jack, because this is how we make our money.
Yeah, we're poor.
We are poor. Is that a good way to? Oh, man. I meant to talk about this the other day, and I forgot all about it. I think it's because you and Polly weren't here that night, but you were the ones I was most curious to hear the reaction to. What did you think of Nick Rekieta's stream the other day, where he charged people $30 to call in?
I don't like that personally. I think it's kind of shitty.
If I charge y'all $30 to call in, will you do it?
I mean, there's always going to be some people that do, because he's got a certain notoriety. I mean, just like you have a lot of subs compared to me. But I think it's kind of disingenuous, and it makes you look greedy, because you're not doing it for your fans. You're doing it to get money. Mm-hmm. And that's very short-term thinking. It's very shill-oriented. That's something I would expect DeFranco to do.
When I'm so torn on this, because it seems like a dirty thing to do. You know, for $30, you can talk to me. But if people are willing to pay $30 to talk to you, is it really any different than a fan event where people pay or buy a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's not something I would do.
Oh, me neither. I joked about that, guys. We're not having a call-in show. I need to clear that up. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, I think that's the person whose channel it is. It's their decision to make. I think it's kind of scummy, because if you want to have something like that, just have a panel at a convention. He's been invited to conventions before, so just go do that. I don't like this profiteering off the backs of your fans. If they want to give you money for super chats, that's one thing, but the call-in seems a little bit much to me.
Jake says Matt Christensen only reads super chats over $10. See, there's a lot of people who do that. Ricada, he's at what, 20? He'll only read over 20, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it depends on the channel. I'm not trying to pour me here. I don't get that many super chats, so it's easy for me to keep up with all of them. There are people I've seen like Mr. Medicare, man. He gets so many. I could see him doing a dollar amount, but instead he just gets to the end of the stream and reads like everything, and it takes like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's why Matt Christensen does it, because they only have so much time in the show, and they have like little breaks where they read the $10 and up super chats. So they try and get through them as quick as possible and answer people's questions, still interacting. But I get it. You don't want to interrupt the flow of the show. They have a format.
Dork says Ricada did get a cease and desist order about Thai beard merch. Did he?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I haven't been listening. Dangerous Spacious says that was a time thing though. Matt and Blonde's show was getting to 45 minutes of just super chats. They read all on their call-in show. You know what? And I get that. That's must be a nice problem to have.
Yeah, and they make it very clear at the beginning of the show that's how they do things. So it's not like people don't know that going in. They've usually mentioned it at least once or twice during the show. And I get it. I'm very conflicted about this. I don't like that you would charge somebody $30 to call in and talk to you. It's just not something I would do. If other people want to do that, that's cool. It's just, to me, that would feel a little scummy.
Yeah, I'm looking at Christensen's channel. The last 4 streams they've had, 46,000, 42,000, 34,000, and 51,000 viewers. With each of them donating, that is a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people. And yeah, I could understand that. Like, look, we're only going. I think a better idea there would be we'll read as many as we can in this amount of time. So maybe get people to try to front load rather than just do. I don't know. It's not my problem. It's not one I have. So I need 46,000 viewers so I know how I would handle that. So go out there and get your friends, guys. Bring them in here and have them come test out how Monkey would deal with that problem.
Yeah, like my channel's not even monetized, so I really can't say anything because I'm not even halfway to getting there yet. So it's not an issue I really have come across, but just from my perspective, I'd rather people just give me super chats or Streamlabs, and I'll read them off as they come in. But that's just a current problem. That's not what these guys are dealing with.
Well, I can kind of understand it in the fact that when I started making videos, I answered literally every comment I got.
Yeah.
And by the time I stopped making them, I would only answer for maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time. I would answer the ones that came in the first 2 or 3 hours, and then I was done because I couldn't do it anymore. It was so nice that everybody would come in and respond, but I hated it because early on, one of the things that a lot of people said, like, you're so nice to answer everybody. I try to. I really do, because I don't want to be that creator who doesn't care about their audience,
Yeah.
But there does become a time when it's like, it's just too much. Thank you, Midnight in Exile. Wah, wah, poor me. Your streams are too comfy to be lacking in super chats. Kick Polly, keep Jack. Joey Lasagna sends regards. Tell Joey I said, hey. Tell myself what's up. What's been your largest audience on a stream? Oh, fuck. Well, do you mean live or total watch? Because those are different.
Probably live, I assume is what they're talking about.
Probably 500 or 600. I don't know if we ever hit 1,000. I think we might have come close when Blair White was on. We might have even hit it when Blair was on.
Yeah, I was gonna guess Blair White or roaming.
The roaming ones weren't as big. No, the Blair White one was a lot bigger. And actually, that one only came about because of Andy Worski.
I don't know. Roaming always makes it look like it's pretty big from where I'm sitting.
Oh, that's why I can't have her on anymore.
Because I'm a dirty pervert?
Yes.
Oh, that's not true. You can totally have her on.
You want to come on and be sexually harassed by a friend of mine?
I won't sexually harass.
I know you wouldn't.
Much.
Circus says, "I swear you broke 1K before." Yeah, I think we might have in the Blair White one.
Yeah,
Blair had done her. Oh, it was her Casey Green, Lacey Green thing, and we were talking about it afterwards because we went to. This was before we actually had a time period, and so we all just jumped on immediately and started talking about it. And I said something about it to Andy, I think it was. And Blair saw that and she showed up in the chat and like, "You want to come on?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yes." And it was really cool of her to do so.
I remember that. That was right after that debate. Yeah, I think you did crack 1,000 on that.
But other than that, a couple hundred, maybe 4 or 5 tops. Most of the time we get about 200. There was a time when I was getting almost 300 pretty regularly on Lords of the Night. It's now 220. But overall views, I think overall views, and I might be wrong on this, would be the Bearing one. The Bearing one where we told all the sex stories. Unfortunately, we lost the other Bearing one. That one was great. When he was on here sick and a little bit high from it. That was a good time. Let's see. You're not a perv. You're just honest with your feelings, Jack.
That's what I keep telling people, mostly judges.
Polly says, "I saw that stream live. Hot damn, that takes me back." Takes you back. I forget who it was. Actually, I can pull it up here because I have the somewhere it's in my notifications. Let's see. Petite Nicoco, there she is. It was Mr. Adam, who I call Mr. Adam. No, it was Shady Grin who started it. Petite Nicoco said, "Going live now," and she did this at just after 9. And Shady Grin says, "See, this is why I can never catch your show. You're on at the same time as Lords of the Nights." And she says, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, every Monday through Saturday for the last 2 years, more than 2 years, actually." She's like, "Huh? Yeah, exactly. It's been my time slot for a long time. Just because you're a cute little Asian chick doesn't mean you can just step in there." Actually, she can. I don't care.
Yeah, it totally does. She can do whatever.
Yeah, that's people. The whole time slot thing. And there are times I try desperately not to, stream when I know certain other people are. But there's other times where it's like, I need to stream right now. I'm sorry if other people are doing it. I have to go. My theory is everybody should just stream whenever the hell they want. That's as much thought as I put into it. It's not like television, and even in television, that's what they used to do. You put your show on whenever the fuck you wanted to. And granted, they used to do it to try to, beat other shows. That's not what I do it for. But I do it when I want to stream. Like I didn't realize I was streaming against Polly this morning, or yesterday morning. I just wanted to do a game stream, so I did a game stream, and then he did his noir bar. And I think it's great. It gives people a choice. Come watch me with the sound off and listen to him. Works out well for everyone.
As long as you hit the thumbs up.
Thumbs it up. There's only 24 hours in a day, so when you stream as much as I do.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah, man. Yeah, she called me greedy. Well, what did she say? I think it was greedy. But like, no, I'm not greedy. I'm just I stream all the damn time. It's not my fault. She says, hogging up all the time, I see. Says, Said no, it's just aggressive sharing. Anyway, what do we got going on over here? Jack likes cute Asian chicks. Yeah, he does.
Yep. She's pretty cute.
What are you talking about? The pointless test stream? Oh, the one yesterday? Like I said, I don't try to stream against anyone. I just stream when I stream. It's amazing how many times people go, do you know who you're streaming against right now? I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I didn't see it on YouTube. And I really don't see it now that I set up my streams over here. It used to be, at least, you have to go to YouTube first before you see anything. But since I set up through here, I don't have to go to YouTube at all to set up. Check your hashtag, monkey. Okay. Calm down. You've been yelling at me about that for a minute now. A hot minute, as my friend used to say. What? Oh, wow. That one's not even yours, Evil One, but Jordan. Nice one. Why do you have Danny DeVito in there? Or that Danny DeVito looking chick?
Some chick wearing a mask.
That's disturbing.
It is.
Oh, Becca with the... See, Becca knows what I like. Oh, that's the girl shooting a gun with her pants down. Now, see, that's just nice of her. She's doing something fun and leaving the back end open for, whoever comes by. That's a nice girl. See, Jackson in the story we talked about at the top of the show about Ed Buck getting arrested. Finally. Proposed bill would require residents to own AR-15s. Let's see what else we got here. KFC will test chicken and donuts for a limited time only. It looks like a donut chicken sandwich.
That's the cardiac delight.
America, man, what is wrong with us?
We like flavor.
We do, but we don't need a giant chicken sandwich made out of donuts.
Don't we?
No.
Just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean
it has been done.
Yeah, but it hasn't been done with their food.
Okay, that's true. Prospero says it's a cheap-ass ripoff of Luther Burger. They've been doing that at certain stadiums for a while. I don't know if Luther Burger came first. But they also have the hamburger you can get made that way. Oh, what is this? I am publishing new exclusive material on Ilhan Omar tomorrow. I focus on a key piece of unpublished info contradicting Omar's public statements. Due to its nature, I'm hopeful this info leaves Minnesota media feeling it has no choice but to follow up. Well, why are you making us wait? Why you gotta be a dick? All right. Oh, looks like Imam Tawhidi spotted it first, and several other outlets ran sharp coverage. Well, what was it? I have no idea what's going on here.
Story of my life. Where's Polly? I saw him in the chat. Why is he not in here?
Oh, I don't know. I would like to know what that story's about, guys, but unfortunately, the guy doesn't seem to be very forthcoming. Workers at Trump Plaza, New Rochelle, say after a car plowed into the lobby, Meg driver got out and took a seat on the sofa, said nothing, several injuries, but none were life-sustaining. Oh, Anand, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. It's been a slow day for donations. That's okay. That's all right. They don't all have to be the good ramen worthy. Sometimes I gotta eat the poor ramen. I eat poor people food, man.
That's because we're poor.
Yeah, but the older I get, the more I realize I just eat poor people food. And even if I had money, I'd be like, I'm gonna eat poor people food.
Yeah, I've been trying to eat better because I don't want to be fat.
I understand that too. I actually want to start getting more salads and stuff for my little fridge over here. But they're still going to be covered in, ranch dressing.
Yeah, well, I mean that's obvious.
But yeah, I look at my diet and I realize, this is just all the stuff I grew up on because we were poor. I didn't know it when I was little, I didn't realize how poor we were until I grew up. Yeah, there was lots of times, mom said we don't have money for that and stuff. I just thought, okay, moms don't have money for stuff a lot. I never thought, hey, we're really poor. But now I look at it and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I eat like a college student who got a very bad scholarship to this place. Good ramen? Is there such a thing? All ramen is shit, says Johnny. Johnny, go sit in the corner.
No, he's not wrong.
Ramen is life, son. Ramen is life. I'm being told to check the hashtag again. Let's take a look. What did I miss? Monkey, you're a saver, not a spender. Now that's not true. It's only with my eating habits. I like nice things. It's just apparently I don't like nice food. I don't have nice things because I'm poor. But yeah, there was a time Lady Monkey actually had to put me on a DVD diet.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time I went to the store, I'd come home with like 2 or 3 of them. This was back when I had a job. I can't do that no more. But we have no place to put all the DVDs that I have. We have some in a closet. We have some in a case. We have some in another case. We have some in my bureau in the bedroom. Is that what it's called? The ones with it, we got a bedroom set a long time ago. It's got this one piece of it. It's got closet on the top, but 2 drawers down bottom. I don't know what the
like
Frenchy
armoire?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't know the Frenchy foo-foo word for it. But yeah, there's a bunch of them shoved in there. I got DVDs all over the damn place. Ramen is stroke food.
Because you're going to have a stroke from eating it. It's just empty carbs.
If you're stroking it while you eat ramen, that is none of my business. Ramen is cardboard. It has no nutritional value. It just makes the hunger pangs go away. Well, here's the thing, Jake. I don't get those anymore.
Because they've gone away from the ramen.
They've gone away from my medicine. I don't actually get hungry. And I don't feel it when it's weird because I can feel my stomach growl, but I don't feel it. It's kind of like my stomach went to sleep. Like if your one of your appendages goes all the way to sleep and you tap it, you can't really feel it, but it's being touched. That's how my stomach is when it growls now. On the plus side, I can also eat as much as I want. I could probably explode my stomach because I can't tell how much I've eaten either. Which, by the way, has actually made me much smarter about eating because I don't want to overeat. If I eat too much, I end up with heartburn at night and it ends up backing up into my lungs. Not fun, y'all. So I'm very, very conscientious about how much I eat. Mindcrime says salt. Well, if you're talking about ramen, yes, there's a ton of salt in there. You know what else is in there? Goodness. Fake beefy goodness, because I eat the beef kind, not the chicken, because chicken is nasty. Are you fat, monkey? You can decide for yourself. I weigh 205 and I'm 6 foot tall. With a very long torso, by the way. Because I'm actually shaped kind of like a monkey. Oh, how's your day been, Jack? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, usual.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of tired and annoyed, so.
Ramen gives you 47% of your daily requirement of salt. Not me, man. It gives me, let's see, I got to do the math here. That'd be 94% because I eat 2 packs at a time. It's all right. I don't need any other salt. See, people are like, it gives you all this salt. All right, well, avoid salt for the rest of the day. You're fine. No big deal. That's not fat, just big boned. I mean, I got a dad bod, but that's mostly because I can't exercise. Makes me sad. I used to be hot. Man. Lady Monkey used to like seeing me naked. She'd pretend, but she'd tell me to put my clothes on and stuff. But
Yeah, they're always telling you that.
yeah, women, man. I've never once told my wife she needs to put on clothes. Like, you need to take that off. And she's like, no, there's people here. I'm like, well, they're out there and we're in the bathroom. It's okay. That's been the fight of our marriage, man. Me trying to get her to take her clothes off and her trying to convince me to put mine back on. Yin and yang, man. Yin and yang. That's what you need in a marriage.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not married, so.
Hey, dad bods can still be hot. Lots of women dig that, man. I don't know how much women actually dig it. I think women just are less. Most women, hashtag not all, are a lot more forgiving of it than men are. And it's not even men. Men are forgiving of it too. It's women judging other women. Why do we always get the blame for that shit?
I don't know. I knew a chick that was real into dad bods, though. She was kind of a freak for him.
Look, I knew a chick who was a chubby chaser, man. That bitch didn't hook up with anybody who wasn't at least 3 bills. And she was a tiny little thing. Tiny little thing. She just loved to ride fat guys. I think she had a smother fetish or something. Ew. So I get, like I said, hashtag not all. But I've never once seen a woman look at a slightly chubby guy with dad bod and go, oh, he is so hot. He is so hot. They say that about, the ripped firefighter guy. Now, that's not to say they don't find you sexy and whatnot, but they're just like we are. They're just like we are. They have an ideal body and that they're like, oh, that is so hot. And then they have, you know what? That's good enough. I can get wet to that. Ranting Monkey, you don't need to be naked. You just need a zipper. Well, you can make that even easier by just wearing pants with a elastic band, and then you just
breakaway pants.
Oh, that would work too. I just walk around naked. It's easier. Then nothing gets in the way. And she's like, "Put your clothes on." Like, why? There's nobody here. There's not very often that there's nobody here, so I'm not naked that often, you guys. But I will. I'm not lying. I will show her my dick all the time. I have Ramirez'd her so many times. Waved my dick right in her face. You know, my favorite thing is when a woman, would you like it if a woman put her pussy in your face? I'm like, yeah, I like pussy.
Yeah, more often than not, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's if it's a dirty, nasty bitch. Like, no, I'm not naked right now, guys. I'm wearing I don't know what fabric this is. It's kind of like jogging shorts, but they're not real thick. I have problem. I can't wear shirts, right, Jack? I talked about that before. I also have problems wearing pants and shorts because my thighs are also very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wear stuff that I can, when I need to, pull up on my thigh. So these are actually the easiest shorts to do that with. But I am wearing shorts and my my trademark boxer briefs. Ding. No, please don't put your pussy in my face. Oh no. Well, that's the thing. If at a college party, some woman got up in front of Brett Kavanaugh while she was drunk and flashed her pussy at him, he wouldn't be 30 years later going, Your Honor, 30 years ago, she showed me her pussy. She put it right in my face. He'd be going, yeah, she showed me her pussy. That's all right. No big deal. Because men aren't so fucking bitchy about that stuff. It's like, oh, she showed me her cooter. Cool. Just saying. We gotta stop that, man. He pulled out his pee-pee. Did he make you touch it? No. Did he touch you with it? No. Go about your fucking day. Now, I'm not saying if you're at a bus stop, okay, call the police, but that was a college party. And this bitch is like, 30 years later, I'm still so traumatized by it. Shut up. No, you're not. You weren't traumatized by it then. Did you hear what she said, Jack? It showed me that my place wasn't really at Yale.
How?
Having a drunk dude wave his willy in your face showed you didn't belong at Yale. You know what? I believe her that that's true, Jack, and here's why. Because if that's the kind of shit that would make you think you don't belong at Yale, then you didn't belong at Yale.
Yeah. Grow the fuck up.
I'm so tired of this whiny ass shit, man. I really am. I really, really am. This shit has gotten ridiculous.
Oh, it's gonna get a lot worse, man.
That's a regular part of frat hazing. You know what? We need to. We don't need to talk about this. We're going to. I've mentioned many, many times. My favorite feminist is Camille Paglia, and one of the things I like that she said is when she's talking about the liberation they were fighting for when she was in college. Because when she went to college, women had a curfew. They had to be back in the dorms by, I think it was 10 p.m. at night, something like that.
Yeah.
Men did not. And one of the ways that they justified having the women on a curfew was that it was for their own protection. And she said, we were fighting to put ourselves in as much danger as men put themselves in. That's a weird way to look at it. You don't hear him say that.
No, now they want those curfews because they're fragile.
They want the men to have the curfews now. Women can go out all night, but men have to stay home. But I loved how she put that. We were fighting to be able to put ourselves in these positions. And you know what? Yeah, at a frat party, you guys might not like this, but dicks come out sometimes. And this chick was at a fucking college party where everybody was drinking and they were playing a game. And I love that they've never told. I'm as far as I know, they've never told us what game.
Oh, it was Truth or Dare.
It was Truth or Dare, or it was Spin the Bottle. One of those two. Because they're sitting in a circle playing a game. Come on. We know what happened. They weren't playing Monopoly. They weren't playing Parcheesi. So drunken dude waves his dick. And 30 years later, we have six United States presidential candidates calling for his impeachment for that.
Yes, that's ridiculous. It's more that, like I said when I came in, it's more of the we didn't get our way, so we're going to keep having a vote until you get it right.
Sure. Dangerous says she says it showed she didn't belong at Yale, but also she didn't remember it happening, right? No. Those are two separate incidences. She says she remembers it quite well. Apparently she has nightmares about his dick or something. I don't know. You'd have to ask her. But she hasn't been able to get over that dick showing in 30 years. The other chick, that story came from a guy who saw it happen. You know what I love about that? They confirmed this with two officials. That makes it sound like, okay, they went to like the college and confirmed it with two officials or something. But I think what they're actually talking about is that they confirmed he told this story to the FBI.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, so he's the only witness to this. And she says she has no memory of it happening because she's not a crazy bitch. If it did happen, she got over it. Yeah, Prospero, that's another good point. 6 candidates from the party of Bill Clinton. 6 candidates from the party, and at least one of them, Joe Biden, was in the Senate at the time of all the Bill Clinton stuff, except for he hasn't come out for the impeachment yet. So I need to be fair there.
Yeah, wasn't the guy that reported this like a lawyer for Clinton too?
I still haven't been able to verify that. He's a lawyer of some sort. He's worked for the government in many different capacities over the years. but I have repeatedly seen that he supported Democrats in some way. So, yeah, is what it is. I hate this idea that women are that fragile, but it is. This, I mean, let's say a couple's at a party, okay? An adult male or an adult couple is at a party, right? We're going to take two different scenarios here. In the first scenario, we got to name these people. We're just going to name them A and B to keep them separate. A is the man, okay? So A is at the party. He's over here talking. And he's sitting down talking to this lady, and she covertly shows her snatch. Now, B is at the same party, and she's talking to some guy who covertly shows his penis. Which one of those two do you think is going to throw a fit?
Oh, the chick that saw the wiener, of course.
Yeah. All you got to do is say, no, thanks. I'm not interested. Hey, thank you for showing me. I'm not interested. I don't think women really like dick. I think that's what it is. People send me dick pics all the time. I've never heard one dude go, God damn it. One more bitch sends me a pussy picture. One more bitch sends me a pussy picture. I'm going to lose my shit. I don't think women like penis.
Modern women don't seem to.
I don't even think it's necessarily a modern thing. I think
Probably not, but I think it's just more vocalized now.
Hashtag women hate dick. That's what it is. And that's the biggest difference between the sexes. We actually like their genitalia. They don't really like ours. Subpar says, if more chicks send me Subpar, I'm not sure that's a sentence, but I think I know what you're getting at. He says if chicks sent him pussy pics, his wife would kill him. I get that. Oh, I had a stroke. I'm sorry if that's true. I'm not making fun of you. Look, I talk like that sometimes. We've said that. Ebony says, Ranting Monkey, it could be a modesty thing. It could be. I just don't think women like dick. They might like how it feels, but they don't actually like it. Hammer says they don't like the look. They love the feel. Now, I could understand that. That would make sense. No pain pills got me loopy and finger stupid. No, dude, it's cool, man. It is cool. I understood what you meant now. Now that you told me you had a stroke, if I was the kind of person who felt bad, I would feel bad. But now I'm going to make fun of you. You're Sinatra. No, I'm sorry to hear you had a stroke, man. But I do the same thing, and I don't even have the stroke excuse, Jack. I just have medicine that fucks with my head.
Yeah, everybody's good at something. Everybody's bad at something.
Jared says that's up for debate. There's some pretty ugly vaginas. Jack told me about them. There are some ugly vaginas, man. And all you got to do is say, no, thanks.
Yeah, and you won't know until you look.
Becca says, article from Sarah Carter says it was Clinton's attorney. Send it to the hashtag again. Let me take a peek over there. What is this? Things you will never hear a man say to a woman. Will you stop blowing me for fuck's sake every damn night with you groping my pee-pee? I know, right? The only person who's ever done that is Al from Married with Children, and he didn't mean it. That was a television show. Becca, when did you send that? I'm not seeing it. God damn. Did you send it to MITAM or MSSS News? MSSS News. MSS. I don't remember the name. Anyhow, what is this? Oh yeah, we saw this article. There's people who want to remake The Princess Bride. Just don't. Now, if you want to re-release it, that's fine. Just re-release it. That's all right. Just out of Monkey in the Morning. It's not showing up for me, sweetie. Let me Latest. Oh, there it went. Okay. Just came up. Let's see. New York Times editors omit the fact that Max Steyer, that accused Brett Kavanaugh, worked as Clinton defense attorney. Guess on which case? Wait, he was on that case? No.
Yeah, wasn't Kavanaugh the opposition in that one?
Kavanaugh worked for Ken Starr.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which is why they really hate him. They really don't like him because he's a one of theirs.
Wow.
In a major twist, New York Times editorial was pressured to make correction to his bombshell story. But editors also admitted another important detail. The accuser, who saw Kavanaugh with his pants down at a different drunken party where friends pushed his penis into the hand of a female student, worked as Clinton's defense attorney or Steyer's legal battles with Kavanaugh during the Whitewater investigation. The only supposedly new claim made in the book isn't new and comes from Democrat attorney Max Steiner, a Yale classmate. Well, that's... What is that from? Oh, here we go. In the words of the Yale Daily News, they were pitted against each other during the Whitewater investigation in the 90s when Kavanaugh worked for Ken Starr. Steyer defended Bill Clinton, whose legal troubles began when a woman accused him of exposing himself to her in a hotel room she had been brought to. Clinton later settled with that woman for $850,000. And due to a contempt of court citation for misleading testimony, he ended up losing his law license. Steyer worked closely with David Kendall, who went on to defend Hillary Clinton against allegations of illegally handling classified information. Yeah, so he's a Democratic lawyer. Go figure.
Yeah, he's got nothing to gain by lying.
Mm-hmm. So the guy, okay, that makes this even worse. This guy who accused Kavanaugh worked against Kavanaugh on the Clinton impeachment stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. This guy's a fucking liar. I guess there's probably a reason he's not willing to talk about this in public.
Yeah, because he's full of shit and he'd get sued.
What is this? Apparently, Elizabeth Warren said, "We're not here because of men at all," at some speech thing she gave. You might want to talk to your dad about that.
She sounds like such a nag.
God, I hate that woman.
Yeah, you could just hear it in her voice too. We're not just here because of that whiny, shrill voice. Oh. Ugh.
It's not even her voice that gets me. It's the way she talks. Even if she had a more pleasant voice, that goddamn I'm talking to a kindergartner sound of hers drives me insane.
Yeah, she does this little body motion, like a little sway when she's talking. It's almost like a tut 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 sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she sounds like she's constantly talking to a class of special needs kids.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody finally got a hold of the two chicks who wrote this book, huh? The two reporters at the center of the botched New York Times story. CNN is enjoying this a little too much. Oh shit, Hammer was here. Hammer, you still here? Did you want to come hang out for a little bit? I'm not going a whole lot longer, but the two reporters at the center of the botched New York Times story about a new sexual misconduct allegation against blah 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 were pressed Tuesday about the paper's handling of the facts. Co-reporters Robin, somebody I don't, her last name I can't say, and Kate Kelly told CNN's Allison Camerata, spell your name right, bitch. Allison Camerata on New Day that it was an oversight by the paper when it omitted a key detail in their story. Really? Is that what we're really going with? Okay, here's the quote. In the editing process, I think there was some debate about naming her because the Times has a history of not necessarily naming a victim. And so, in the course of that reporting, I think the judgment was to omit her name, and that sentence also included the fact that she didn't remember it. Upon realizing that omission, that oversight, The Times decided to put back into the story and issue an apology for having left it out in the first place. All just a big misunderstanding, you guys. They name her name in the book, but the Times was just like, you know what? We can't, even though it's going to be in the book we're talking about, we're not going to name her name.
Yeah, they're trying to get you to go buy their stupid book.
I can't believe we're pretending this is real still. They fucked up. There's no place where this was accidental. There is no way you're going to convince me they accidentally left out the fact that she said it never happened.
Oh, they don't care. It's not about that. It's about crafting a narrative, because by the time the truth comes out, nobody will care anymore.
You're not wrong.
Plus, that friend of Blasey Ford said that her legal team was pressuring her. Blasey Ford's legal team was pressuring her to alter her opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems a little shady to me.
Yeah, that seems like misconduct. Something you should be disbarred for.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through Twitter here. I haven't really been on Twitter much today, man, because I got up so late. And is there anything that I had that we didn't talk about? No, wow. I literally did nothing on Twitter today. Damn, Jack, I can't remember the last time that happened.
Don't know what to say. It's probably a malfunction with Twitter.
Now I feel empty inside.
That's what Twitter does to you.
Thousands demand Oxford dictionaries eliminate sexist definitions. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That'll probably end up happening at some point.
Almost 30,000 people have signed a petition calling for Oxford University Press to change the sexist definition of the word woman in some of its dictionaries. Launched this summer by Maria Beatrice Giovanardi, the petition points out that Oxford dictionaries contain the words such as bitch, besom, piece, bit, mar, baggage, wench, petticoat, frail, bird, bint, biddy, filly as synonyms for women. Well, I haven't heard some of those, but if they're synonyms, they're synonyms. Am I wrong about that? Guys, they're only talking about removing it from that particular definition. Well, there's several others apparently, but that's the big one. Because they want to remove the synonyms, not necessarily bird itself. So, oh man,
they want to get rid of all the gendered language.
Did you hear? I'm sorry, I don't mean to switch topics so quickly like that, because we've talked about Joe Biden recently quite a bit, and about how he does not seem like he's all there.
Yeah.
Did you hear his statement he gave regarding how to repair the legacy of slavery in America? All right, guys, I know this is long, but I have to read this, and I'm going to read it as he wrote it. And so if it sounds a little fucked up, okay, it might be me, but most of it is him. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's institutional segregation in this country. And from the time I got involved, I started dealing with that. Redlining, banks, making sure we are in a position where, look, you talk about education. I propose that we take those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from 15 to 45 billion a year, give every single teacher a raise to equal raise of getting out of the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does, in fact, have 3, 4, or 5 years. 5 years old, go to school. School, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes with parents to help them deal with how to raise the children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure that kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. That's his answer to how you repair the legacy of slavery in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that rambling mess, and it's even worse when he's saying it than what Monkey just read.
That is so incoherent.
Yeah. I told you, man, the guy's losing his marbles.
Again, I don't know if this is like a stage. I don't want to be, the anti-Reaganites who are like, he's got dementia. I don't know if that's what it is, but there's something wrong with this dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's old. He may understand what he's trying to say, but he can't articulate it, and that's not good. If he's got to give some important statement to like a military commander, they need to know specifics. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that he's not really up to serving.
Yeah, exactly. I think they drug him out and kind of forced him into this.
Yeah, I do too. And even if he really wanted it, there's a point where you have to say, I can't do this. And you have to accept that. There are limitations in life.
Excuse me. The Useless Rebel said, just got here. What'd I miss? 2 hours and 21 minutes of us talking. Polly says, I want the media to hunt down Corn Pop. We need to hear his side of the story, right? Corn Pop's probably like, this white dude came out of nowhere and beat the fuck out of me. I wasn't doing nothing.
We was just standing there.
I was just standing there, man, minding my own business.
They kept calling me Corn Pop, and I got stuck with that name.
My name is Charles. Why is he calling me Corn Pop? Let's see. North Carolina high school cheerleaders on probation after posing with Trump 2020 sign. Of course they are.
Yeah. Cancel culture, man.
A North Carolina high school cheerleading team is on probation after taking a picture in front of a Trump 2020 re-election banner. The North Stanley High School cheerleaders posed in front of a 2020 Make America Great Again banner in August before a football game. The photo circulated on Facebook, catching the attention of administrators. According to WLOS, the cheerleaders will be on probation for the rest of the season because district policy bans political ads at school events. Sure, that's what it was. Had nothing to do with it being Trump.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been a problem if it had been Obama, but they're probably labeling this as some kind of hate crime.
Yeah. I wish I'd saved that. There's some dude who's really bent out of shape because what's his name? Gillis, his first name. It's escaping me right now. The guy who got fired from Saturday Night Live before he really even began. Excuse me. Sorry. He's still getting work as a comedian. He's going to be on a show with Louis C.K. and somebody else this weekend, I believe it is. And he's just like, Shane Gillis. Thank you so much, Dangerous. He's really been out of shape over it. And I was scrolling through his Twitter, whoever this guy was. Like I said, I forget his fucking name. And he's really, really upset because Andrew Yang forgave Shane Gillis for what he said. And you know what he said? What Yang said was so fucking cool of him. I'm for the first time, I think, in this whole thing, giving Andrew Yang props. Because what Andrew Yang said is, I think he was, and I'm paraphrasing, I think he's a young comedian who's still trying to find his style. And sometimes, you get a little edgy and you say things. I don't think he meant anything by it.
Wow.
Yeah. And that pissed off this other dude. He's like, oh, do you know what all he said? Like, shut the fuck up, you little bitch. But apparently that guy's a failed comedian. I've never heard his name. So if he was a comedian, he failed hard because I watch a lot of comedians.
Well,
but yeah,
some people are just bitter too. And if they don't make it, they don't want anyone else to either.
Well, this guy might have had some part in getting Gillis fired, bringing up all this stuff. And yeah, I thought that was, I mean, Andrew, I've been very hard on you. One, I think you're a joke of a candidate. No offense. But that was such a grown-up response, especially in today's world, in 2019, for him to just be like, that's no big deal. He's just trying to make jokes. And yeah, this guy, I'm surprised this guy didn't say something like, fucking Asians. Stupid fucking Asians don't get it. I'm a white guy who's trying to help you. Don't you understand it? My mom.
I gotta lift you up, even though you're probably making way more money than me.
Look, billionaire, don't you understand how impressed you were by this guy's comments? Oh my fucking God.
People are such pussies these days.
But Frosted Glass sent a story, and I know it's going to piss me off because I see where it's from. This is from Splinter. It says, Andrew Yang really doesn't have to do this. Written to us by Samantha Grasso. Samantha, yeah, you're kind of ugly. Andrew Yang might work. Well, yeah, Andrew Yang might think he's right, but his entire approach to race has felt offensively wrong. On Saturday, Yang reached out to comedian Shane Gillis, who, at that point, had just been announced as a new cast member on Saturday Night Live. In the wake of the scandal surrounding racist, homophobic, and ableist jokes and comments Gillis had made in the past, Yang offered to sit down and talk with the performer. Quote, I took the time to watch and listen to Shane's work. He does not strike me as malignant. He does not strike me as malignant or evil. Is malignant the right word there?
I think malicious is what he was going for.
Well, that's what threw me off because it definitely says malignant. Malignant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. But he didn't strike me as cancer or evil. Yang tweeted, encouraging readers to forgive Gillis rather than punish him. Quote, he strikes me as a still forming comedian from central Pennsylvania who made some terrible insensitive jokes and comments. On Monday, within an hour of SNL announcing that Gillis would not be continuing as a cast member, Yang tweeted that Gillis had reached out to him and the two would be having a conversation about, well, given Gillis's racist track towards Yang himself, it's unclear. I watched that clip of Shane Gillis' podcast video in which he makes fun of Asian accents and says generally shitty things about Asian people before I decided, no, I really didn't need to invest any more energy into watching this man say more racist, homophobic, or ableist things. This bitch. Oh my God.
They do understand what comedy is, right?
No, they don't. They really don't.
That's why I hate them.
Me too, man. They have no fucking sense of humor. None.
No, I don't get it. Like, you don't hear the people saying this about like Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle when they talk about white people.
Never.
But somehow it's okay to go the other way with it. I'm so tired of this shit. It's so old. It's to the point where it's just irritating. And, I hope this guy does meet with Yang and he dresses like Charlie Chang.
That would be awesome. It'd be even better if Yang came dressed the same way.
Yeah. And he walked up to Yang. He's like, hello. I see you're surprised I speak your language. Yeah, let that haunt me. I don't care. I love Asians. They're sexy.
Man, when I read this story about Gillis, I was like, oh yeah, I'm fucked. I thought about some of the jokes we've made and some of the accents I've done. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to work on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, shit. They're a bunch of unfunny bitches. That show hasn't been good in decades, and this is why, because they don't have any edge to them anymore.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Jake, he says Webster 2B, malignant, passionately and relentlessly malevolent, God damn it, and aggressively malicious. Okay, yeah, I'd never heard it used that way before. So Yang's use of it was right. I just, I've never heard it that way. It's probably why he's a billionaire and I'm not.
Well, it's just
or millionaire, whatever.
It's a weird choice of words for what he was saying.
Yeah, malicious would have been a much better, easier way to say it.
Yeah, just because you're technically correct doesn't mean it's going to sound correct.
What else we got going on here? But we're this idiot. I've also been consistently frustrated with Yang, none too versed in the art of making people laugh himself, for his willingness to make himself the butt of the joke and lean into Asian stereotypes. In his frequent telling, he is the antithesis to Trump, the Asian man who likes math. Antithesis. I have trouble with that word. During the latest Democratic presidential debate, he commented, "I'm Asian, so I know a lot of doctors. If they're laughing with you, they're too busy laughing at you." What? That's what she said. She added that to the end of him saying he knows a lot of doctors.
Whatever. The guy cracked a joke. It just wasn't particularly funny. Fucking get over it. Oh, what is wrong with these people? Are they like pod people from another planet? Because normal humans don't think this way.
This is so weird. I know this routine so well. I was one of a handful of Asian kids at my elementary school in Texas, located in a prominent neighborhood for newly transplanted Dell employees during the computer's growth in the 90s and early 2000s. Excuse me. I leaned into being the Asian hard, so hard that the stereotype became my identity, that I felt I had nothing to say to my classmates when they slanted their eyes at me, which made no sense. I'm Filipino and white with almond eyes. But Asians are a monolith, and so it goes because I had encouraged them.
Yeah, see, this is really about her. It's got nothing to do with Andrew Yang or this other guy. It's about her insecurities with her own identity.
You know, it's weird. I mean, I mentioned before, I spent some time in a black neighborhood, and you know what? Me being white came up quite often. Them being black came up quite often. It was just something we joked about from time to time. And nobody got offended because we were all joking with each other. This is another one of those women. She just doesn't like dick, and that's her problem.
Yeah, she probably desperately could use some.
This bitch needs dick.
Oh my God, she needs something funny in her life. Like, laugh a little. Go outside, look at flowers. I don't know. Do something productive.
She needs something bigger than Asian dick.
Yeah, she needs
How's
something.
that for a stereotype joke for you?
It's not wrong.
Hey, look, I've seen the Christian Science Monitor. These people, they don't have a sense of humor, Jack, and that's their problem. That's their big problem.
Well, that's why they're all so unhappy.
Yeah.
They never laugh. They never have fun. Everything is to be analyzed and deconstructed.
That's not true. They do laugh. It's just about stuff that's not funny. Have you ever seen them try to make jokes?
Yeah, it's like
Donald
watching
Trump
a computer-generated meme.
Yeah, and that's I've seen this new thing they're trying to push about the right. They only have one joke. It's something that's been said about the left for a long time because the left now has no sense of humor. These are the people who propped up Hannah fucking Gadsby.
Yeah, she won an Emmy, didn't she?
Yes, the post comedian. And by post comedian, they literally mean not funny. Literally, that's what they mean. Not funny. The not funny comedian. You know what we used to call those? Unemployed.
Yeah.
We used to call them door greeters at Walmart because they couldn't make it as a comedian. So they had to go find whatever job they could. But no. Because she's a bitch who got up there and talked about rape. Not an abstract talk about rape. No, not jokes about rape. Her rape, her repeated rape, which, by the way, I feel like you're hanging out with the wrong men, Hannah.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Maybe you need to. You're not a very good judge of people, there, Hannah. But yeah, they've made her a comedian. She's not a comedian. She's barely a speaker. But that's their hero. She's the best comedian ever. Meanwhile,
yeah, here's a parade of sad, broken people. Let's cheer them on.
There was also, I mean, we saw people with this. You see what Teddy just put in chat?
Yeah.
Ranting Monkey, I've checked the entire Christian Science Monitor website. I've yet to find any of the dirty stuff you said is on there. It's not presented. It's not presented as dirty stuff. They're scientific articles about it.
Yeah, you have to sign up and log in to see a lot of. It's a lot behind a paywall.
Yeah. Anyway, we saw a lot of stuff with this Dave Chappelle thing, and it is amazing how many people have said this or something to this effect. These are the same kind of jokes he made back in 2010, and they were funny then, but they're not funny now. Like that don't math. The fuck you mean? The fuck you mean they used to be funny, but now they're not? That means you changed, not Dave. And that means you don't actually like his comedy. You were just one of those hangers-on who thought it was cool to like Dave.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those kind of people out there.
Oh, yeah.
They are the kind of people who will laugh at what they're told they're supposed to laugh at. And you know what? Those are horrible people. Low Res Boy says, times have changed, huh? Not in 8 years. Well, actually, times have changed in 8 years. And that's the biggest problem, that those people have changed in those 8 years. See, they used to be kids. And I'm not talking about how they're kids now. They're adult children right now. They used to be actually 14, 15, in college, before college ruined them. And, it wasn't the college that ruined them. The people they met in college ruined them. And back when they had a sense of humor, before that was beaten out of them. They beat the humor out of these people, and they're trying to do it to everyone. Don't laugh at that. If you laugh at that, you're bad.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
Because you laughed at that joke.
You monster.
Andrew Yang making jokes about his own race. How bad. Didn't I say that just fucking yesterday? They're going to get to the point where they're telling people they can't even make jokes about their own race. Because until now, you could still joke about your own race and white people.
Now it's just white people. Whitey.
Stupid whitey. Yeah, we can make jokes about white people all day long. You wanna rip on anything, one of my favorite white people, y'all can't dance. I think you should still dance because I think it's amusing, but you can't dance. Your taste in food is usually very, very fucking bland, which I blame on our English ancestors. And too many of you that live in the South, fuck your own sister. You gotta stop that. That's not cool. But yeah, there's a lot of apparently Corolla did an anti-PC roast recently. If anybody has a link to that, I'd love to see it. Corolla has been on fire since he's left primetime. Adam is I never really liked him on TV.
Yeah, he always seemed kind of like borderline edgy. He was safe for TV, kind of edgy, like people that liked Helen Hunt TV shows would be like, "Ooh, that's edgy."
He always seemed to me like he's trying way too hard. Like if you go back to like the Man Show, Kimmel played it much better than he did. It just came off more natural, where with Adam, it seemed like he was forcing the joke. Listening to him just live, Holy shit. Him talking like this. He has a podcast, guys. You should check it out sometime. He's funny as hell. He's not always great. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you're going to laugh every moment of the thing, but he is on fire, man. The other one used to do the news on Saturday Night Live. Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
He's another one I was not really a fan of on TV, but since he's left, oh wow. He's much better when he's not reading scripted shit, I think.
Yeah.
Jack, Dave is bad, Gatsby is good. We are living in bizarre world. I don't want to live in this world. I know, right?
It's true, man.
It's the opposite of what should be happening. The opposite of what should be happening. To the point that it really is bizarre. There's no other word for it. I don't know how anybody can look at Hannah or take Amy Schumer, man. I don't know why we're still calling her a comedian at this point. Her leather special was one of the worst things I've ever watched in a comedy show. And I've seen a lot of bad comedy shows, man. That was just horrible. My pussy stinks so bad, y'all. You Yanks don't get self-deprecating humor. Y'all take it too seriously. You know, Atheist, you're right. We used to. We just don't anymore. Now we take ourselves way too seriously. But I believe in the old axiom, if you can't laugh at yourself, I'll do it for you. I believe that's what this world needs more and more of. People, we've gotten so goddamn touchy, and I blame so many things, mostly white women. Let me tell you how they figure into this part. This comes from the anti-bullying stuff. See, back in my day, bullying was somebody kicking your ass. It wasn't quite the lunch money thing. That's a little bit before my time. They just beat you up because they didn't like you. And that was bullying. And then somewhere as I was getting out of high school, bullying became, don't you dare say anything bad about anyone ever. If you say anything bad about somebody, that's bullying. And you know what? They will never recover from that.
Yeah, that really picked up after the Jonesboro shooting in 93 or 94.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that shit stemmed from, because that kid got bullied and then he took out 7 of his classmates. And people were like, hey, maybe we should pick on. But you didn't know that kid.
Yeah, don't forget, but it was perfectly fine in Parkland. Remember Emma, whatever the fuck her name is, Gonzalez. Crying and screaming, you didn't know him. That's why we treated him like shit. Yeah. But no, that's where it started. This is where we lost our self-deprecating humor, is that you weren't allowed, and nobody was allowed to make fun of anybody anymore. And so if anybody makes fun of you, you just cry now. Or back in my day, you'd make jokes about yourself because you learned that it's okay if there's a little bit of bad stuff said about you now and then. Go ahead.
If you do it to yourself, they have little power because you're joking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't use it against you.
Yeah, exactly. The fat kid was always the funniest kid in school. Largely because he made fun of himself. Largely. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that might not have been true everywhere, but for the most part, especially in the military schools, man, because everybody was always the new kid, so you couldn't just pick on the new kid, so people would go after the fat kid. But the fat kid was usually making jokes, and everybody like, he's so cool, he's so funny. I make fun of me better than anyone else. I know the worst shit about me and can make it 10 times worse than it is. Well, I think all children should be made to sit down and watch Roxanne, at least through the Steve Martin monologue. Because that's one of the best examples of that. In Roxanne, it's actually a play on Cyrano de Bergerac. This guy has a giant nose, And at one point, he's in a bar and somebody makes fun of his nose, and it's a really lame attempt. So he goes, that's the best you got. And then he goes off on a riff. What does he do? 20 jokes about how big his nose is. Lauren Michaels refused to hire black women for 40 years on SNL. I know, right? There's also rumors that, isn't it Michaels the one who's been supposedly invites women back to his room to talk to them and shows up in a towel. He has them come to the room and he's just wearing nothing but a towel.
Well, you get jobs the way you get jobs, you know.
Well, apparently if they don't what's the word, pleasure him, then they will not get a job. Yeah.
Well, it says a lot about the cast there.
A little bit, yeah, no, doesn't it? Kind of makes you wonder what them girls been doing. How many of them had that Weinstein-esque dick? Wow. Bad comic reviews. Hold my beer. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. So Weinstein, but for comedy. Well, Kathy, we are talking about SNL here, but I get your take. I take your meaning. And yes, that's what it would be. Good night, Prospero, sweetie. Thank you so much for dropping our links, honey. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget, guys, support Jack. Throw him some change. He needs coffee and I don't know what you eat.
Whatever's on sale.
And he needs sale food. Sale food. That is so poor sounding.
I know. I just ate a protein pack that I got for $1. It was going to expire today.
Oh, nice. Wow, he willingly boned Amy. I don't know how to say her name. Poehler?
Ew, yeah.
Without throwing up. Is she the blonde? Which one is her?
Yeah, she's the blonde.
I could do that. I mean,
her face is fat.
It is, but you turn out the lights. I don't know why I got to remind everybody you can turn out the lights.
It's still, that face is still there. It's like the size of a pillow.
You can also do it doggy style, man, and it's turned the other way. You don't even have to say now. Okay, Leslie Jones, I get you there. Because I've seen her naked, and
ooh, yeah,
you'd have to turn out a lot of lights for that shit. Wait. Okay. Sorry. What?
Tina Fey, though, in her prime, she was pretty cute.
Oh, Tina Fey, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, her as Palin, I'd have tore that up.
Yeah.
I'd have treated that like it had done something wrong. She sounds like a man monkey. I don't let her talk. That's what your hand is for, or your dick. Either way. And look, even with Leslie Jones, you turn out the lights, you find the wet spot, pop it in there, you're done.
You cry afterward in the shower.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with crying to yourself after sex for what you just did.
Women do it all the time.
Right. You just man up about it. You go, you never tell anybody.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Did you fuck her? No, man, I ain't do that. Hell no.
Gross.
Ew. Reminds me of that old joke. What's a fat chick and a moped have in common? They're both fun to ride till your friends see you.
No, fat chicks are never fun to ride. Like the morbidly obese ones at Walmart. No.
Look, man, I'm saying sometimes you can have fun, and then, like you said, you just cry afterwards. It's okay. And I have low standards, but still standards. Look, man. If you're hard up enough, and I don't understand why these rich guys are, they can actually buy pretty young women. And I don't mean, purchase them from Saudi Arabia or something.
They can probably do that too.
But you know what I mean? It's like, look, I have cash, and they come like cheap magnets to a refrigerator. So I don't understand why they have to buy all this weird, abuse all this weird pussy. I get it for some of the pretty ones, like ScarJo. I'd have done that. Be like, yeah, you gotta suck my dick for a job. But like Leslie Jones, I mean, you couldn't find someone else to touch your pee-pee, dude. You're a rich TV producer.
Yeah, like a longshoreman or somebody more feminine.
Right. Wasn't there a lumberjack around?
All right.
Did you hear Tina Fey's latest comments? I don't listen to Tina Fey or follow her or anything. If I'm hard up enough, I'd bang warmed up ham slices and couch cushions. That's a disturbing image, but sadly, I understand exactly how you'd push those in there just from the mental image. No, but I
wondering how you come up with that. Like, oh, I dropped a slice of ham on the couch. It just happened to fall. Hey, now.
Did you see the naked parody with the nude Leslie Jones and the dwarf from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage? It was traumatic. Yeah, that's very traumatic. But there's other pictures out there of her. Isn't there some of her actually banging? I can't remember. I know there's. Look, man. Somebody told us. I think it was Gutenberg told us that there were naked pictures of Leslie Jones. I was like, all right, I got to go see. And I was like, I'm gonna go cry in the shower now.
As I recall, I warned you not to do that.
Yeah, and you were right. And I don't always make good decisions, Jack.
Well, I'm not right very often, so. But this one you probably should have listened to.
But again, I don't understand. Okay, Lorne Michaels. This is a fantastically rich man. At this point, he's got millions and millions. He doesn't even have to work right now. He does it because he likes his show and his power.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to force women into sex. If he wants to, he can, literally just pay him for it without prostitution. Just like, I will buy you a car. You want to come back to my place? And she'd be like, yeah, sure, daddy. And there are bimbos out there, a dime a dozen, that would fall for that. And instead, he's sexually harassing people that are going to go on Twitter and tell about it. Why would you do that? That's when you realize your power has gotten to your head.
Yeah.
Because he's just doing that for the thrill of forcing them into it at that point. And well, not forcing. Look, I want to be clear here. Any of those women who touched his dick did it of their own free will. That's on them. However, it's scummy what he's doing. I feel the same way about Weinstein for most of the problems we've heard about him.
Yeah.
There's very few where we heard he forced it, and I have problems with those because all the other ones were like, nah, he let me go. But no, your pussy was the one that he really, really needed. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying, anyway. These women who are like, he told me if I sucked his dick, he'd give me a job. Did you suck his dick? Yeah, I feel so violated. Like, why? You did it. He didn't make you do it, right?
Your poor life choices are not somebody else's fault.
Exactly. And so many of those, they talk about how the Me Too movement has been taken over and it's just not what it used to be. It was never what it was. It was a lie from the beginning. Because 90% of those cases were bullshit. But then we just saw the study yesterday that said, what is it? 33 million? I don't know. I think it was like 1 in 16 or 1 in 12. I forget. First encounters for women, first sexual intercourse for women is rape. But then you actually read the story and in the story, they do define rape as verbal coercion. Like, he's going to break up with you if you don't do it. And he just kept pestering me. Those are two of the ones that are listed as rape.
Wow.
Like, that's not rape. Neither one of those is rape. If he says, have sex with me or I'm going to break up with you, you have a choice there. And if you have sex, then that's on you. He's still a douchebag. Don't get me wrong. He's still an asshole. But the choice was yours. We really got to explain to women that they have autonomy because they don't seem to understand that.
No, even feminism seems to think they don't have autonomy. So,
well, they actually teach it. They actually teach it, man. Everything you do is the white man's fault. Ranting Monkey, you mentioned the Christian Science Monitor so much. I feel you should actually read articles from there. I'm not going to, John. I Appreciate you. The only ones I read are about porn, but I appreciate you sending me that on Twitter. And on that, guys, we're going to look, guys, I read the Christian Science Monitor all the time, every day. And I see all kinds of stuff about porn in there. I don't know what you guys are reading. Apparently, you guys are seeing maybe you guys are going to christiansciencemonitor.org instead of .com. I don't know. Maybe
they're not going to XXX.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sadistic Atheist says, "Arg, I just Googled Leslie Jones nude. Now I hate you." I didn't tell you to do it. I just told you they were out there. That's on you. Thank you, Hate Camel. That's right. Look, you had a choice to make there, Sadistic Atheist, and you made that choice yourself.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, bodily autonomy.
That's right. But with that, yeah, we are going to wrap up, guys, because we are, we are 5 minutes from 3 hours.
Wow.
Now for like an hour and 45 of that was just me talking. I can't believe I talked that long all by my little lonesome. I have a problem, Jack.
A streaming problem? No,
I can't shut the fuck up.
You got boredom problem.
Well, there's that too, yeah.
It keeps all these delightful people entertained.
It does, and they are wonderful people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. You guys are amazing. I love you. Thank you for showing up night after night to listen to this and this nonsense. Don't forget to tell your family and friends that bitch you hate to come check it out as well. That bitch you hate might make the choice to touch your pee-pee. Just saying. And thank you so much for the donations tonight. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them from the bottom of my heart, sincerely. Jack, anything you want to I stopped halfway in the middle of that word. Jack, is there anything you'd like to shill tonight?
I'm going to be on Polydub's channel tonight, probably around 11 p.m. We'll send out a tweet before we go live for comic book curation. There's the link. Be sure to check it out. It's a fun time.
Wednesday tonight we'll be on my channel 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. There's no scheduled game streams, but of course watch out for Twitter because you never know when one of those will pop up. So guys, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Jack, thanks for joining me. Everybody, enjoy your Wednesday and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye people. Waiting